Is this how we're starting the show? This is a marathon. We don't usually do the lotto warm-up. We just get to it, right?
You're right.
You fucked up.
Welcome retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Patrick, get on the stream.
Yeah, Patrick, get in here.
We're starting like this? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, we're not starting like this. We're starting like you starting the show incorrectly.
What's happening? What's going on?
I wish we could have been starting the show like this.
Yeah. George, your audio is great this week. It sounds great.
Do you have notes? Patrick, do you have notes? Do you have notes for the show already? Because you've ruined it. We have to go for another 12 hours or whatever. And you come in here being negative, having ruined the opening, and you forced poor Watto to use our only non-sexual fuck that we could use in the whole to keep our PG-13. It was going to be a stretch goal. It was going to be a stretch goal. Now it doesn't matter.
I didn't think about this. We wanted to keep this a family show because we're doing the Buddies franchise. We wanted to only use one non-sexual F word. But I needed something
now. It's blown.
To express my anger at this I word over here.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Oh, no.
The I word.
Yeah.
And so I blew it. That was going to be a stretch goal.
We could start now. Do you want to start now?
You want to restart the show?
No, I don't want to restart the show. I just want to restart our...
It's a great idea. Patrick, it's a great idea.
All right, we're going to pull the call from the screen. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Really?
Sorry.
welcome retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show Buddies Marathon. Watto, as always.
I'm
my
Watto.
right-hand Poidarian.
Yeah, the flying space
So happy to
crew
see you.
/ sidekick /
So
announcer.
excited to
Happy
see you.
to see you too, George. I'm trying to stay focused on the future instead of looking back at the mistakes. But your sound is actually a problem. I know you don't want to hear it from Patrick, but you might accept the
I don't
note
mind
from
hearing
me.
it from you. I don't mind hearing it from you. You're having trouble hearing my voice?
That's better, but it also feels like maybe you're having Wi-Fi problems. There's some sync issues.
No, my wife is wonderful.
I said my Wi-Fi, not your wife. I know Melody's doing great.
Yes.
George, no, I have a joke. Can I tell one joke?
What a wonderful way to begin a Buddies Marathon. Yes, I'd love to hear a joke.
No one told me Wilford Brimley is hosting the George Lucas Talk Show this week.
I'm sorry, Watto. I know that I'm a billionaire, but I didn't realize that the joke would be at my expense.
It is. And George, I have to say, you've been going through some wild physical transformations the last couple of weeks, some stylistic changes, and it feels like this week, I don't know if it's a rendering problem, I don't know if it's a trick of the camera angle, but your mustache looks far more prominent than the rest of your facial hair this week.
Well, it could be rendering. It could just be the times in which we live.
That's fair.
You would say that there have been a lot of changes in the world and in the country in the past few weeks. Why not reflect those changes?
That's true. New year, new you.
New year, new beer.
George, I think we should just bring him in here. And we have a lot of reasons to complain and to criticize the ways things have already gone wrong, but let's just focus on the future. Okay?
Right, absolutely.
The future, Watto?
Yes,
hello,
the future, Patrick.
Hi, guys.
Oh,
How are you?
hello. Hello, Patrick.
Oh, hello, Patrick.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hello, Patrick.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
hello, Patrick.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Patrick.
Oh, hello, Patrick.
Oh, hello, Patrick.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
hello, Patrick.
Oh, hello. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Patrick.
Patrick, why are you wasting all this time? We're trying to stay focused. You should tell people what we're doing here today.
Guys, today we are watching all of the Buddies movies. They are all available on HBO Max, except for Super Buddies, which is on Disney+. If you got those, log them in, type in Buddies, they'll all pop up.
Super Buddies is the last one. We'll stay on HBO Max all day until the end.
Yes, until I believe we're scheduled to hit Super Buddies at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific.
So we're gonna right up top, we're gonna take it to the max, and then at the end we're gonna go plus. Yes.
We're also raising money for the ASPCA today.
Yes.
We have a fundraising page. Down at the bottom it says bit.ly/GLTS Buddies.
Yes.
If you go there, it will bring you to our fundraising page. It's easier than doing the PayPal. You'll get a receipt, everything. We will see the donations together. It'll be really good. It looks like this. Let me bring up the screen share so everyone can see what it looks like. Bing, bing, bong.
Bing, bing, bong.
Bing, bing, bong. Now, we have the fundraising goal set at $8,000. I want to do more than that, but I'm just doing that, just to be safe.
I agree.
We started 12 minutes ago, and we're at $1,000.58 already. So,
bing, bing, bong.
Bing, bing, bong.
Bing, bing, bong.
It's not bing bong. That's Grogu.
That's not bing bong.
I just thought
it's not bing bong.
Look, it's George Lucas in the Kingdom of the Crystal Bing Bong.
Oh, this is funny. Well, Patrick, you said we're over $1,000. That means that we have a couple stretch goals that we need to pay out right now.
We
Let's
do.
look at the spreadsheet.
So this is where we're starting with the spreadsheet. We can update this I also have a few extra dollars that have come in through the PayPal, which again, if you can, send it through the ASPCA.
Now, Watto needs to chug an energy drink. He has one right here. He will chug it through the Watto straw. But I also want to set up another running stretch goal for the day to try to encourage donations, okay?
Yeah.
I often try to come up with a food-based stretch goal endurance test.
Yes.
In past months, one could argue that my stomach was bigger than... My eyes were bigger than my stomach.
Yeah.
I got confused because in reality, my stomach is quite large and my eyes are quite beady and squinty.
Mm-hmm.
But in this analogy, the eyes were bigger than the stomach. So I tried to come up with a food-based stretch goal that is more realistically sustainable for a day.
Yeah.
We're watching the Buddies films. They're movies about dogs, correct?
Correct.
Woof.
There's some cats in there, though. There's some monkeys in there. A lot of animals.
Irrelevant to the bit I'm about to set up.
Okay.
Wait. Irrelevant?
No, that's an elephant.
No, it's an elephant. Bring back up the spreadsheet. At every $1,000,
yeah,
Watto is going to have a dog with a bud.
Dog with a bud?
A dog with a bud. Watto is going to eat a Hebrew national and drink a Budweiser.
Oh, no.
Very good. Very good.
This is sustainable. I'm no longer setting out a running bit that will do me in by the end. This is easy. A dog.
Because the dog will help soak up the buddy.
Well,
Exactly.
Watto, hang on. Do you have buns?
Yes, of course I do. Okay. I have sauerkraut. I have
make it a stretch goal. You'll show those buns.
Show those buns, Watto.
No, stretch goal to show those buns.
All right.
They're in the kitchen. I have to heat one up right now, so I'll show the bun in a moment.
Okay.
Watto. But every $1,000, a dog in a bud.
Let's say that at 1,500 you'll show those buns.
Okay, so I'm going to make one hot dog now, but at 1,250, I will show the pack of buns.
Okay.
Yeah, show those buns. Watto shows
those
buns.
I want the two of you to set up more stretch goals while I chug this energy drink.
I'm gonna say at 7,500, Pat gets warm.
Can we make me full screen for the chugging while you talk about stretch goals? Because I want people to see the drink through the Watto straw.
Okay, let's see it. Wow.
Good.
The Watto straw.
Let's also say Watto.
Should our one non-sexual F be 8,000, or should we set the bar higher?
I think we should make it. Well, it shouldn't be on the thousands because you have the dog and the buds on the thousands.
Yeah,
I think
we got the thousands covered.
Let's do 8,500. One non-sexual F.
What's the least sexual number?
8,500.
96.
Okay.
It's the opposite of a 69.
Okay.
You're facing opposite ways.
Sure.
Yeah. That's not intimate.
9,600.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one non-sexual F. What?
Yeah.
Watto.
Watto, you'll do the honors. When the time comes. I think you're the one who should deliver it.
And I promise it's going to be so non-sexual. This F. We're going to be a clean PG-13.
Watto,
Patrick, don't you go saying it. Patrick, don't you go saying it because I swear if you say it, we will start the show over.
And Patrick, we'll start it over as many times as we need to. And do not say the I word.
I won't. Watto, I have one more stretch goal that I know we want to do. You and I talked about the name of it. What do you think we should call it?
You got to remind me what it is.
Okay, I'll put it in here. I'll put it in the private chat.
Wow. Is it? Yes, okay, ready? This is what it is.
Yeah.
Look, the world is rough out there.
Yeah.
We want to give you all some solace. So, let's say at 55. Does that sound good?
I think that sounds good.
We're going to share with you a good, kind dog moment.
Just like a nice, happy one. Just a nice, happy dog, just a nice, happy dog moment. That's all we need.
But I would choose to word it as a good, kind dog moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Let's make it 55555.
Okay.
For fun.
Well, it rounds up, but you know what it is.
No, what do you mean it rounds up? You rounded it up.
No, the Google spreadsheet rounds up. I can't do
Try it.
You don't have to do 55. I just wanted that. I wanted that.
Okay.
Hey, George, can I make another joke? This one not at your expense?
Yes.
Patrick says he rounded up. More like he short rounded up.
Oh, wow. Hold on to your potatoes.
Okay, so we're gonna start the movie in a few. We're gonna start the movie in a few minutes, probably like 5-6 minutes or so.
Yes.
What else do we need to get out of the way before we get going?
Well, I just think it's good to mention because many people have tweeted at us. There were some very unfortunate things that happened with the treatment of dogs on the production of these films. Arguably the most unfortunate things you could imagine. That is why we have not booked the director of these films to appear on our live stream today, and we are raising money for the ASPCA.
Yeah.
Right.
The opposite.
Right.
Here's another thing. We want people, if they have dogs, to tweet at us photos of their dogs watching the stream, watching Air Buddies.
We want to see them.
Right. So tweet it. You can tweet it the G Lucas Talk Show. You can tweet it at Planet Scum Live. You can tweet it at Patrick Cotton.
Yeah. Tweet it at me, and I'll make sure I'll try to get them all on. Okay. Are you guys? We'll start in like 4 minutes. Are there any last minute stretch goals we want to add before we start?
Sure. I would like to add. Let me look at the spreadsheet again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go make my first hot dog while you add to this spreadsheet.
Yeah. And then once Watto is back, we will get ready to start.
I don't know how, let me see. So at 1750.
Yeah.
Let's say that's pillow time.
Okay. 1750. That's pillow time.
Up a little further, let's say how about a blankie?
22.
That one a little higher up. Sure.
How
about a blankie?
Yeah.
A little bit higher up. Pillow time 2. Another pillow. A little bit higher.
Oh my God.
A little bit higher. Let's say.
Yeah.
What's this? Another blankie? What's this? Another blankie? What is this? The Blankie Show?
Okay.
A little bit higher. Let's say bye-bye to all these pillows and blankies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A little higher than that. I will take Short Round's advice.
Okay. George, this is a lot.
Well, you asked. I'm trying to help those buddies.
I did ask.
Trying to help those little buddies.
Okay.
You got some? Add some in there.
No, I think these are good for now. I think we'll keep thinking about them as we keep going. But yeah, that looks good. Oh, we already have some dogs who are watching the show, George. Let me bring them up.
Take a look. Let's see those buddies.
Let's see those buddies. This is from Sarah Clev. Let me bring this one up. This is Bindi watching right now. Let's see who else we got. Sasha is listening. Looking in the wrong direction, but listening.
Turn the wrong way.
Is that it so far? That might be it.
Come on.
Okay, and let's remind everyone what movies we're watching in order before we get started. To do that, I'm going to show the shirt that Bring to Noise sent for this show. We're going to be watching Air Buddies, Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies, Super Buddies. It's a good one.
It's a great shirt. It's a great shirt. And it really helped you. You got it right on the first try.
It helped a lot.
Yeah, this is like the end of, you're like post car crash in Whiplash now. You're a good drummer. Because the message of that movie was he wasn't a very good drummer, but then he was abused by a man for a long time.
Yeah.
And became a slightly better jazz drummer. And the lesson being that you should put up with anything to become a slightly, almost, I would say, imperceptibly better jazz drummer.
That's a good rule. There's a good rule to have.
What a great message that if you want to become not just a very, very good and technically proficient jazz drummer, if you want to become imperceptibly better, all you have to do is just put up with any amount of abuse.
Yeah. Now, once Watto's back,
what is it that won't be tolerated?
I don't know. Once Watto's back, we're going to get started, and I've got some guests for this first movie, George.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but I want to wait till Watto gets back.
Well, I'm happy to wait all day.
Okay.
I'll wait until you tell me it's time to watch some buddies. Now, the first buddies is Air Buddies, so I'm going to go to my HBO Max.
Yes.
I'm going to type in buddies because that's going to bring up all the buddies films. You don't even search for them individually. If I type in buddies, that keyword is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting here on the Max. Now I have options. I have Air Buddies, Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Treasure Buddies, Santa Buddies.
Yeah.
George, I love the way you said that. Patrick, my hot dog is almost done. I want you to get the guests to type out their intros. So when I have the hot dog, this is how you produce. Get the things lined up.
Okay, guests, if you can put in the private chat how you want Watto to introduce you, he will read verbatim whatever you want him to say. It could be a real introduction. It could be a joke introduction. You put whatever you want, and he will read it.
Now, I do want to say there are additional. If you type in buddies into HBO Max, it also brings up other things that are unrelated. A South Park clip called Butt Buddies, a Steven Universe clip called Monster Buddies, an Impractical Jokers entire episode called Cyber Buddies, another video.
George,
what?
We don't talk about Steven Universe on this show. We don't want to talk about that.
What? Steven Universe, Monster Buddies, clip 3. There's also Steven Universe, episode 7, Bubble Buddies. There's a show Clarence, episode 36 of his first season was called Dust Buddies. Another Steven Universe episode, season 1, episode 23, Monster Buddies. And then The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, season 1, episode 9, Looking for Love in All. And then it says T ... Obviously, I think there's buddies further in the title of that, but I'm not going to click in because that's a distraction. I won't fall for it. And also, there's an inside jokes video from the Cyber Buddies episode of Impractical Jokers. Looks like it's additional content, but none of that will be on the quiz. You don't need to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
Very excited for Air Buddies, which will be first on deck. So if you have your maxes ready, you got your max out, get ready to max out. To the max, HBO Max, that is.
Watto, how you feeling? Oh, there he is. Look at him. He's back.
There's Watto. He's back, and he's better than
Look
ever.
at how well Watto timed this out. It's 1:58. We said we'd start the movies at 2. We're about to introduce our guest. Maybe Watto is on top of his shit.
Listen, if
we're
Watto
allowed
wants,
to say shit in a PG-13.
if Watto wants to produce the show, Watto can produce. You know.
Watto would never produce this show. It would be a disaster. Okay, do we have... No, we're still waiting on the introduction. Okay, here we go. Folks, we're starting out big, okay? It's our first Buddies movie of the day, and we're not holding any punches. Our first guest is the voice of Butterball in the first 4 movies. A former child star who is now supernova, the guy who tweeted the viral long bread tweet, the one, the only, Josh Flitter! Yay!
Oh, hello, Patrick.
He's here. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Hello, Patrick.
Josh, this is George and Watto.
Hello.
Hello, Watto. It is an honor to meet you, George.
Oh.
I think we've crossed paths before. We've bumped into each other at one or another premiere. I know it's, you might not remember me, but it's totally cool. It's great to see you again.
This is good.
Hey, I'm a big fan of your work, Josh. I got to say, big fan.
Now, Watto, let's bring in the second guest, and then we'll start the movie and start chatting.
Because there are some interesting overlaps in this introduction as well, which I would love to hear our guest discuss. Grogu's and Gragas, our next guest is a 27-year-old exhausted Jewish man whose life began crumbling in 2008 when he was not asked to reprise his role as Mudbud in Snow Buddies. Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Fox! Yeah!
Whoa.
Hi, guys. Spencer, how are you?
I'm good. Feeling a little bitter right now.
Yeah.
Josh just very flagrantly flaunted that he was in all 4 Air Buddies movies. Some people weren't so lucky, so I guess I'll just start with that.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Spencer. It's great to see you again, bud.
It's good to see you. Unfortunately, starting out on a sour note. Josh.
Yeah.
But they're buds.
George, Watto, and if you guys are watching, we're gonna press play. You don't have to watch, but we're all gonna press play together.
Oh, I'm gonna watch. I got it right up here, loaded right next to me on the screen. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna press play.
Give me one moment.
Come on, Watto.
I emailed Josh today to tell him that Spencer was gonna be on with him. I was like, oh, Spencer said you guys were buddies, and then I realized I was like, oh, why did I say the word buddies?
You said
Today
buddies.
was like the one day to not say buddies.
No, you said it.
I said
That's a humiliating story, Patrick. I can't believe you shared that. What an embarrassing thing to do.
I'm really embarrassed for you.
Patrick, it feels like your story was framed around a rhetorical question, but excuse me if I try to answer. The reason you did that is because you're a hack.
Wow.
It's a
A lot of
hacky
animosity in this chat right now.
There really is.
I don't want to get into it, but Patrick messed up the beginning of the show twice.
Yeah.
I am ready to start watching Air Buddies in HD 5.1 surround sound.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Is everyone getting this old school
God, it's so loud.
HBO
Hold on, I
movie
have to turn it
presentation?
down. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Now, Josh, you were mentioning meeting George at different
subtitles
premieres.
on.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if that happened.
Right.
I know I met Spielberg before, but I think George may or may
my
not
buddy
have been there.
Steve.
They're good friends.
Am I cutting in and out? Is my connection terrible right now?
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
You sound
No.
great.
No, that's my connection.
Yeah.
So you met Steve. Where do you remember where you met Steve?
I met Steve at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards.
Whoa!
In 2007 or 8, and
Wow.
it was really funny because I met him. It was at like an after
Right.
party, and I was like, "Oh my God,
Post Munich?
it's Steven Spielberg."
Wow. Wow.
This
And,
must have been. This must have been when he was promoting Crystal Skull, right?
I think so. I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
There was famously a year that Harrison Ford got slimed at the Kids' Choice Award, and he looked less happy than when anytime he's crashed a plane. He looked more distraught by the slime.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's big. I mean, even for a kid, you know who is here. I'm bringing up a picture. I found a photo.
Oh man.
Steve and the family at the Kids' Choice Awards in 2007.
Wow. Look at the drip. Steve's drip. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, can you find a picture of Josh?
Now that's the hope. Let's see.
Now here's a line of questioning. What do we do?
Well, I was at the Kids' Choice Awards. There's 2 years that I went back to back. Oh, I think it was 06 or 07 or 07 or 08. I was there with Extra, the TV show. I was doing red carpet. I was interviewing people on the red carpet. So I have a clip of it that I could send. I don't know if I could. It's on Twitter. I could send it to you in this chat.
I love that. Let me. I mean, look at this. We got a good one right here. $499 to buy it on Getty.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Now,
Spencer, do you want one of these?
If the asking price is 400, I'm in. I'll start to get.
There's probably a buy it now somewhere.
No, wait. Now, on the subject of award shows, Spencer, you were nominated for an MTV Movie Award.
This is true.
Did you get to go to that ceremony?
I went to that ceremony.
How was it?
This was 2005 Best On-Screen Team. You shared the nomination for The Incredibles with Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, Sarah Valley.
Yes, Watto. That is correct. I think we lost to Mean Girls, which is very fair.
No,
it's not.
No,
they don't work well together. They're at odds. The Incredibles are a team. The Mean Girls are
mean. Yeah, right. It's in the name. It's all there. I do remember I sat across from Dakota Fanning, and I think that was like a big year for Dakota Fanning. So that anecdote doesn't really age well, but at the time, it was a great anecdote.
Now, here's a line of questioning I have.
Okay.
The two of you are buddies. And when I'm saying this, I don't mean it in the hacky Cotner way. I mean it, you're both voices of buddies.
Right.
But the two of you know each other. Did you meet or working on this film? Were you doing voiceover sessions together? What is the story?
Josh, if I remember correctly, I feel like at the time we were both like small, chubby, precocious Jewish children. So we were just basically at every single same audition together.
That's literally exactly what it is. I think we'd known each other since we were like 4 years old, or whenever it was that you started and I started, because we would just see each other at every single audition because we were so similar looking. We would go out for all of the same commercial roles and then movie roles and stuff. So yeah, I don't know the actual first time that we met. Was that the only time we worked together on like a couple commercials too, right?
I think we did like either like a Domino's or like AT&T commercial. Some like commercial where they just needed 2 wide and stout Jewish children, and the rest is history, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, Spencer, I was supremely jealous forever that you were Dash in The Incredibles. That was the one thing that I like wanted. Every time I would watch that movie, it's one of my favorite movies. I was like, I think about you every time, and I'm like, God, I wish that was me. I wish that I got that role. I was so jealous.
I'm jealous of you because you sustained a career in film.
No, I didn't. I did until I was 14, and then I stopped, and I've yet to restart. So
right. But I mean, come on, man. The Ace Ventura reboot, it's untouchable.
Everything. Yeah.
Really, a hell of a run.
The IMDb page for Josh Flitter is stacked.
I mean, we'll go through it. We can go through it in a little bit. Well, this is part of this show is just us going down IMDb pages.
Yeah, I think the next big fundraiser should just be Flitter Fest, and we go through all Flitter movies. in one go.
I mean, we all know the old adage in Hollywood is never work with children or animals. And only Josh Flitter had the courage as a child to make a movie that was just him and animals. He said, I'm the child, bring me animals. I am Ace Ventura Jr.
Absolutely. And we shot the movie over budget in less than the amount of days that we needed to shoot it. So we spent more money and shot it in under the amount of days. So it was really just everything about it was perfect.
It went really well.
That's
So you're saying
almost
you're saying the way the film was
mathematically
made was faster and more intense.
Yes, exactly.
Get that ready to go.
Yeah.
How did you guys?
That's
Do
great.
you guys remember getting this gig? Do you guys remember like how it came about?
I kind of do actually, yeah. I remember I got it, and this is not to, besmirch the good name of Air Buddies, but I remember even at the time, I was like a little embarrassed. I was like, oh man, just did the Pixar movie, and the next thing is Air Buddies. All right. But I remember it very specifically because this was the first time where I got to choose which role I got. They offered me both the role of Mudbud and B-Dog, and they let me pick. And that was a very special moment. And I got to dodge the bullet of voicing B-Dog, which has not aged great.
Yeah, poor Gig Morton.
Hope he's doing all right.
But let me tell you, they didn't offer you Butterball because that was my role, and you were never coming anywhere near it, Spencer.
I went in there. I said, if you're even considering that Spencer Fox kid for Butterball,
They're like, are you
dash from me? I'm out. I'm walking.
Yeah, I walked in. I said, I do this movie. I'm gonna do this movie if Spence is nowhere near my role. Don't bring him anywhere near my role. I'll break his freaking legs.
Now, I do want to say, because, Spencer, you did say you were slightly embarrassed to do this movie, and I feel like it is kind of easy to dunk on these movies, but that's not why we're here today, because if you look at these movies, there's so many more of them than most movie franchises.
Yes.
It's easy to dunk, and it's unfair, because I also think the movies are very wholesome and probably like narratively stronger than you would anticipate.
Yeah.
I think it was just like I thought the trajectory was going to be more of like a skyrocketing integrity, which Air Buddies admittedly is not, but I think, all things considered.
Well, the first movie has what's his name from Home Improvement, Richard Karn.
Yeah,
but that's like a recurring thing through these movies is the talent that they get for both voice and on camera are like really good character actors.
Don Knotts. Don Knotts is in this movie.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. When we were looking through the cast list to try to book guests for this show, there were a lot of guests we could not book because they were unavailable due to death in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
But then you realize that for many of them, this was their final film. Like, I think this is Don Knotts' last credit ever. Tim Conway, this is one of his last credits ever. Edward Herrmann, like great actors, topped it off with a buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly impressive when you look through it, just being like, Jesus, they got so many really, really good, solid character actors who work a lot.
Well, what's crazy is they got people who then died, and then they got me and Spencer whose careers then died.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's really incredible.
No matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, there's death just all around you.
But to talk about a more vibrant memory, Josh, do you remember the premiere of Air Buddies?
I have no idea what you just said. It just cut out so much. But
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
The premiere of Air Buddies in New York City.
Oh yes. So there was a giant stuffed butterball that was like, it was a big stuffed animal that was like 4 feet tall, and they gave me it, and I brought it home. It's in my basement in New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking for pictures. I cannot find pictures.
There's a picture of the two of us at the Air Buddies premiere holding golden retriever puppies.
Wow.
Is that on? Wait, you have to find that. Is that on
Google somewhere? I think it was like for like an article in like Scholastic Kids or something.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Scholastic Kids.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a real publication, but
now on screen right now we have Holmes Osborne, great character actor, famously in friend of the show Connor Ratliff's movie Living in Missouri, along many other things. Really good guy, works a lot. But that's another example. Josh, do you remember how you got the part?
I have no idea. The first 15 years of my life are a blur. Just cocaine.
Yeah.
Partying. No. Absolutely no. I don't really remember just because I was pretty young. But all I know is I had a great time doing it. I mean, I love doing voiceover work. I think it's very silly and very fun, and you get to go into the studio dressed like this, But yeah, I mean, I just know that I had a blast, but I don't remember the story of how I got it or anything. I was probably how old were we? Like 10, 9?
It was probably like 12, I think.
12? Okay. Yeah, I don't.
It's 2006 is when it came out. So.
See, that was a hot year for me. 06 was a hot year. I did Nancy Drew and License to Wed and Everybody's all back to back to back. It was just like I said, it's just like a blur of just like, drugs and women and partying and rock and roll.
Yeah.
I just want to underline some of the things happening on screen right now, because the Air Bud franchise proper is one dog who is surprisingly good at sports, but doesn't talk and otherwise does not behave like a human being, ostensibly takes place in a recognizable real world. The Air Buddies franchise is starting off in a very different tone. Despite the fact that we have talking puppies, we also now have an evil genius with a basement lair, an eye patch, and a hidden tiger in a cage. The stakes are very different in these movies.
They really hit like a classic like second beat, They were like, we have our baseline story here, we have our reality, right? We're living in this reality, and they were like, okay, where do we take this now? We need the classic evil genius with an eye patch, of course, because I'm sure he lost his eye to like diabetes or something, and then he's really angry about it, so now he's got to take it out on stealing puppies and genetically modifying. I don't remember the plot of this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm just kidding.
You were talking, Spencer, about feeling embarrassed to be in this movie, and it's like on its face you're like, what is this? Is this the 6th Air Bud movie? They're doing it with puppies. What is this? But this is a franchise starter. This is a franchise that ends up outgrossing the franchise it spun off from. The stat I just read is that this is the 2nd highest grossing Disney video series of all time, only behind Tinkerbell.
Redacted. No longer embarrassed.
Wow.
And there are 7 of them.
Wait, where's our back end money there?
Great question.
Dear God.
I just saw $220 million.
Do you get points on this? Did you get any points?
I mean, we got DVD residual stuff at least from the beginning ones. I don't know. Once it moved to all digital, I don't know how it worked, but I know. I mean, like every actor, we could get like DVD residual stuff, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know.
Spencer hasn't seen checks since 2007.
A minute, man.
Josh, something I watched. I want to hear about this movie.
Sure.
I watched one of your movies because I'm currently, this is going to sound insane, watching all of the theatrically released movies on Disney Plus right now. That's what I decided to do with my.
You're watching every single one?
Yeah.
Won't that take the entire rest of your life?
I'm on 2012, so we're almost there. But I watched The Greatest Game Ever Played. Was it fun working on a golf course for a whole movie shoot?
So
was it a Caddyshack situation? Were you guys causing mayhem? Was Mark Frost shaking his fist at you? What was going on?
It was. I will say it was probably. It was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I'm not even kidding, because it was the first, one of the first lead roles I had in a movie, and Shia kind of took me under his wing because he was 18 and I was 10. He was just barely an adult. He was a little kid himself.
Oh my God.
And obviously he's got stuff going on, and it's not great.
Yeah.
But the experience that we had working on it then was unbelievable, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. He was so wonderful to me as a little kid, as an actor. But Bill Paxton was a brilliant director. And we got to bond before we shot the movie. They had me and Shia just go out, and I was literally caddying for him just to like form this bond, because the characters were supposed to be like inseparable in the real movie, or the actual people that it was based off of. So we would just go out golfing together, where I would carry his bags and he would. They were training him, and we just had a blast. I mean, it was really, really, really fun. Yeah,
that's cool. What did you? I mean, that's early to do like a period piece. Did you enjoy doing a period piece?
I did because I mean, I both did and didn't, because at 10 years old, it was like, this is really cool. I get to pretend it like everything looks like it's the early 1900s, but at the same time, like, God, this costumes were like the clothes. Why did people wear that? Why didn't they just wear comfortable things? They should have just worn comfortable clothes.
It would have been easier for everybody.
It would have been much easier to just, maybe that's why they would all die so early. They died at like 20 years old in the early 1900s, because they were constricting their blood flow with not like comfortable clothing.
Was your character?
This is an interesting theory. We have not heard this theory on the show before. You think that prior to modern times, most people died because the clothes were wrong?
Yeah, not because of modern medicine, not because of like advancements in science, because their clothes were too tight. 100%.
So you're saying fashion is more than just an aesthetic. It could save your life.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, yeah.
Speaking about costumes, Spencer, you kind of made out like a bandit, because you got to be in one of the best superhero movies of all time, but you didn't have to wear some uncomfortable costume, and you didn't have to get weird Kumail levels of Jack. You just got to sit back, let them animate all the action.
Mm-hmm. I did get Kumail levels of Jack just to prepare for the role.
Yeah.
He used me as a source of inspiration while he was getting jacked.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if you can see, the face does look there's a lot of facial fat going on there, but from the neck down, it's just straight like 2020 Kumail. Yeah. So just want to set the record straight on that.
I mean, you're saying that, and it's people could think it's a joke. But then you look at these pictures, and it's like, man,
come on, man,
man.
So enough.
Do you see the Livestrong? The very very clearly placed Livestrong. Also, just want to bring attention to just the sheer fit. I'm wearing an Element skateboard shirt.
Great.
That is Element skateboard shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That I bought that day with a like a bar mitzvah tier suit jacket over it.
I look yeah.
And everybody said, "Okay, go out and get photographed wearing exactly that."
Yeah.
That
was the pen for autographs? You carried a pen with you just in case you had to sign,
or was it a Bob Dole thing?
It was there just to sign all of my adoring fans that I would no longer have immediately after that night.
But it sends a nice message.
And
it's
what's that yellow bracelet?
That would be a Livestrong bracelet.
Spencer is a Lance Armstrong truther. He actually believes that Lance Armstrong.
What's the yellow bracelet?
George, can you not hear us, George? What's going on?
No, something terrible's happening to me today. What's that yellow bracelet?
Fucking Livestrong.
Let's all say it. Josh, say what it is.
It's a Livestrong bracelet.
Spencer, say what it is.
It's a goddamn Livestrong bracelet.
It's a Livestrong bracelet.
George.
Oh no,
he bailed.
Whatever.
He would have ruined this franchise too if he came on. So
I'm glad you're saying it now while he's gone. That really
It's funny that for George Lucas, the man who revolutionized digital technology and filmmaking, he does seem to be the one with the most technical issues on a week-to-week basis.
I'm not surprised.
I do want to say we are at $1,622, which means Watto's got to show us those buns. That
I
was
got to show those buns. So I don't know if you missed it, but I said that every $1,000 we raise, I have a dog with a bun. So I ate the hot dog. I drink a Budweiser. People wanted to see the pack of buns, so I'm going to go show them the full pack now.
Are you gonna? Oh, and he's gone. All right, I guess it's just me now.
I will say, can I just comment real quick? Just because I've been keeping up with the rules. Spencer just said the F word, a non-sexual F word.
Well,
are we allowed to?
I think guests are exempt.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna make that call only because they left me here.
I saw it in the Twitch stream. I'll be completely honest. It's not because I've been keeping up. It's because the fans have been.
Here's why I'm gonna let guests get away with it, because I don't want to have to explain that to everybody who comes on.
So can I get one before? Well,
Watto,
he's back.
Watto, I made an executive decision.
I heard it. Here's what I think the rule is: if a guest says it, it's not canon. It's a legend. Okay. So we're going to put it into expanded universe. If a guest says it,
if a guest says it, it's fan function.
Well done.
Thinking on your feet.
Yeah.
Just me and my new drill for my irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh.
Here are my buns. I got Hebrew National repping the tribe. I got Sabro toppings, and I was going to get ballpark buns, the ballpark French buns, and then I went, let's go a little classic. Euro classic authentic French brioche hot dog bun.
Wow.
$6.99.
Wow. Now, Watto, we haven't discussed how many hot dogs and how many buns you have.
I purchased 16, I believe, of each.
Wow. Okay.
My intention, it was 10, but I have extras, mostly because I'm worried I will somewhere along the line screw up a dog.
George, it was a Live Strong bracelet.
Live Strong.
Live strong.
Never forget.
Can you hear us?
Yes, Patrick. Yeah, I can hear you, Patrick. What was that yellow bracelet that he was wearing in the photo?
It was.
Spencer, what was it like going to a premiere like that when you're a child? Was it overwhelming? Like, what do you remember from going to something, that big, I assume?
Dude, when I was that young, I had this weird, like, rock star confidence that I shouldn't have had. Like, I think my brain wasn't developed enough. Yeah, you're pointing at me. My brain wasn't developed enough to realize that I should be, like, infinitely humbled and just letting it all soak in. But I kind of just, like, walked around like I owned the place, even though I was, like, 4'8" and like nothing. So I remember like Samuel L. Jackson came up to me and was like, "How's it going?" I was like, "How you doing, man? What's up? How you doing? Good to see you." It's so embarrassing to think about my behavior. But I wish I could be like, "Oh man, it really blew me away." But I was pretty nonplussed for some reason.
Did you record with anybody, or were you all recording separately?
I think we were all recording separately because I think like the inclination is to talk over people, or like you always want more space on either end of the line.
Sure.
So they usually do all of it separately. So I was just like in a room with Brad Bird.
Everything is recorded, unlike just the opposite of a Noah Baumbach film. It's just no one's allowed to speak over anybody else.
Yeah. Let's do our periodical check-in with George. George, can you hear us?
It was a Live Strong bracelet.
It's a Live Strong bracelet.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
You do sound.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the bracelet anymore.
What do you want to talk about? You've been oddly quiet.
I feel a little bit better. It's this laptop. Watto and Patrick bought me a laptop to film on the show, and out of friendship, I continue to use it. But it's sometimes it's technically challenging because I have much better computers here I could be using.
Do I have permission to explain this to Spencer and John? When we started doing these shows digitally, this used to be a live stage show, and then the pandemic happened, right?
Okay.
We started doing it digitally. George said, "I don't own a laptop. I don't have access to a computer. I will do the live streams from my phone." It did not work incredibly well. We had recurring technical issues and things like he couldn't read the comments, he couldn't be sent links. So Patrick and I said, what if we buy you a laptop? We bought him a $125 Chromebook. Just something that would let him do this show. Since then, George has relocated, because before he was doing the show, outside on his patio at the ranch, there wasn't a desktop computer there. Now it's cold. He's back inside. He has a desktop computer. He refuses to use it. He uses the laptop instead and blames us.
This is toxic.
I think someone in the comments just said it perfectly. There weren't any computers at Skywalker Ranch that you would use.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't like laptops. I don't like laptops.
I know, George. We know you.
They're
don't.
not quite. They're neither here nor there.
Oh wow! Hang on. One of the dogs just said the line.
I don't mean
George. One of the dogs just said the line. They were dog napped by dog napping dog nappers.
Who said that? Was it? Do you know which character it was?
I think.
That sounds like a Spencer line.
I don't know. I don't think I got like the tasty lines.
Okay, I think that was a human saying that, right? I think that was the little human boy saying that about you guys.
Was it Don Knotts? Was he?
No, it was definitely a dog, Watto.
Oh, really? Okay.
Here's maybe how we can figure this out. Josh, Spencer, can both of you say that line, and we'll see if we can figure out who probably said it?
Oh, feed it back. Run it back.
They were dog napped by dog napping dog nappers.
All right, Josh, you hit it first.
I have to pitch my voice up about 16 octaves, but it was they were dog napped. They were dog napped by dog napping dog nappers.
That's good.
Really good. Okay.
Thank you.
They were dog napped by dog napping dog nappers.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
He threw in he was like,
I don't think it was either one of you guys.
Yeah, it didn't sound like a Butterball line, to be honest.
I think it was B-Dog. Here's a question for you guys about voiceover. Okay.
Sure.
I imagine you watch yourself on screen. I know this is how Watto feels when he watches Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. You're very caught up in like self-consciousness. Oh, why did I do this and that? Do I look that way? All that sort of stuff. When you watch a film that you did voiceover in, do you still feel that self-consciousness? Does it feel like, oh, I'm watching another character? Or do you feel like, oh man, I'm good in this, and you're starting to feel like you deserve credit for the animation or the dog, the stuff you didn't do?
And while you say that, I'm going to bring up, we got some more dog watching the stream pictures, so I'm just going to bring those up.
Sure. If I could go first here, I think that it is much more out of body, at least for me. Like when I watch myself on screen, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this weird thing, or I'm like standing kind of weird, or like, why is my neck tilted? Like I'm focusing on these really stupid things. But when I hear voiceover stuff, I'm much more able to be like, oh, that's a character. That's a good, fun, silly, separate character from myself. Especially because a lot of the voiceover work I did was when I was young. So it's almost like I'm listening to a different person.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get self-conscious when I like look at like a sandwich that I've made. Like nothing, everything makes me hate myself. So yes, the answer is yes. It does make me incredibly self-conscious in any
Even listening to yourself?
Oh my God, yes. I'm like, is that what other people hear when they have a conversation with me? I'm so sorry.
What are we looking at here?
This is some fan art.
Very troubling.
Yeah, fan art. I mean, Watto, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, Watto does own human slaves on Tatooine.
Right. No, of course. In
the Phantom Menace. So this is some fan art of a proposed movie, I guess.
Some fan function.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
George, while you were gone, we decided that guests can say the F word, but it's not canon.
It's legends if they say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a legend. This makes sense to me.
This is a question for you, Spencer. You had the very weird experience that you are now a man, as you put it, a 27-year-old exhausted Jewish man.
Yes.
But you have this buttery baritone, fucking Brad Bird taking naps, having rats.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, that was That was not canon. I forgot. It's Legends. I forgot.
Watto. No, that I mean.
Welcome retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hi, please welcome Spencer Fox and Josh Flitter.
Yikes.
Wow.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
I have a very gentle, polite PG-13 question.
Okay.
Spencer,
Yes.
you described yourself as a 27-year-old, very exhausted Jewish man.
I did.
You now have this buttery baritone.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Brad Bird spent 15 years taking gosh darn naps and making rat movies before coming around to Incredibles 2. So you no longer could play Dash. Was it
Correct.
weird listening to a young man try to imitate you a decade plus later? Like, was that a bizarre experience?
So here's the thing, and this is not out of spite, but I have not seen the second Incredibles.
Scoop.
Yeah. I know that sounds like a very petty choice on my part, but it never happened.
Sure.
I imagine it would be incredibly strange, though.
He said incredibly.
I did. I heard it, regretted it immediately.
Now, Josh, opposite question for you.
Sure.
Do you find it confusing to watch Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Ace Ventura When Nature Calls because you're like, well, that's not what I look like now?
No. No. I mean, no, because how many people look exactly like their fathers? Come on.
Yeah. Me.
That's a good point.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Sorry, Watto. Not
That's
everybody looks exactly like their father. Okay. So me, this
Yeah.
movie is a brilliant piece of art. Okay. Ace Ventura Jr. I'm sick and tired of people bad mouthing this film and saying that it ruined the franchise because
Josh, go off, Josh. Go off.
last I checked, this movie created an entire new generation, of Ace Ventura fans. Okay, so if you're gonna tell me when I bent over and farted at a skunk that wasn't as funny as Jim Carrey bending over and talking with his ass, then, I don't know. You can go screw yourself because you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this.
Wow.
Go off.
Now, okay, but Josh, let's ask this. If they come back and they say, we're making Ace Ventura 3 and it's time to bring in Junior.
Like father, like son.
Like father, like son.
So like I would have to play so like Ace Ventura.
You're still playing Junior, but it's you now.
But Junior's big now.
Junior's big now.
That's the tagline.
Junior's big now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
considering I'm only 5'3", I don't know how big I actually am.
What? Okay.
But-
what about this is a premise? It's
Does
like the recent Shaft movie. It's you, Carrie, and the baby. It's Ace is a grandfather. You have a little baby Ace, and it's all three of them. The hair's looking ready.
Does this answer your question right here?
Wait, so you're saying Ace Ventura Jr. has now conceived a child, so it's like a second generation of Junior, and
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, now Ace Ventura, like grandpa?
Yes. Yes.
Jeez.
And the movie is called Ace Ventura Jr.
That's the person who wrote that, Mr. D.R.D. Shaw. That's my buddy Danny. He's hilarious. I know him from doing improv. He's a good guy. Anyway, yes, that's funny. I know that name. But and shout out to Danny. But yes, I'm down 100%. I'll do that 10,000%.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Jim?
I've met Jim Carrey on multiple occasions, completely unrelated to this movie.
Does he know that you're Junior?
I have no idea. God, I hope not. So I actually did 2 other movies with him.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Horton Hears a Who, where I played the baby kangaroo. I played Rudy the baby kangaroo, and he was obviously Horton. I met him at the premiere there. And prior to that, one of my first ever roles was a very, very small role in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where
the bully who makes him
I'm
hit
the-
the thing with the
I'm
hammer.
the bully who makes him kill the bird with the hammer. And it was an incredible, I was like 6 years old. I remember that day. It's funny. For some reason, I don't remember getting Air Buddies, but I do remember being a 6-year-old, meeting Jim Carrey and making him smash a bird with a hammer. But yeah, no. So that was incredible. And he's an incredible guy.
You have to let him know. You have to let him know, Josh. He must
No,
know that
you know,
he
I think-
is your father.
Okay,
No, I'm telling you, it's important. This is an important reveal. Here's what you should do. You should fight him, and at the end of the fight, do something devastating to him, and then tell him that he is your father.
Yes.
Only do something that technologically he can immediately undo. No. Don't cut his hand off, because in our world, that is a big deal. In the world of Star Wars, it's a 5-minute fix. You have to do something that he can do something that will hurt him, damage him, but that he can immediately make completely okay.
I'll throw a DVD of the number 23 at his head.
That would hurt him a lot emotionally.
Hidden below the belt, man.
Yeah. And then
George, I do
would
want
say
to
throw
say,
it past his head so that maybe at most he hurts his neck a little, looking to see what it is.
what just whizzed by. Sure.
George, do you have a clock nearby?
George,
Do I have? Oh, George.
No, it's a question for George. George, do you have a clock or a wristwatch or anything you can use to check the minutes right now? Because I just looked at that spreadsheet.
George is
I
gone.
believe-
We lost George.
Jesus
Boy.
Christ, what is going on here?
It's a
That
scary mess.
Chromebook is not having
I
it.
was trying to set them up for pillow time. He said when
Yeah.
we hit $1,750 in donations, it would be pillow time.
Now, I believe right now on screen we're looking at Sheriff Bob, played by Patrick Crenshaw, and I believe this is also Patrick Crenshaw's last movie.
Blue from Old School.
Old School?
Yes.
I believe.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just bringing along the facts as they come up. Now, Josh, this is an important question because you brought up doing improv. Watto, do you want to ask? Because I feel like this is a Watto question at this point.
Yes. I have 2 lines of questioning that I think are overdue at this point. We've been talking
Absolutely.
around. Okay. Josh, Spencer.
Yeah.
It's a very confusing time out there. Fake news abound.
Mhm.
People don't know which sources to trust anymore.
Mhm.
And especially in the entertainment industry, especially in the world of comedy, things are topsy-turvy.
Mhm.
Movies going to HBO MAX. Instagrammers, TikTokers remaking movies. But one question disorients most of all. Since the stunning reveal that Abby and Alana never made Herald Night at the UCB Theater, people don't know what is what, which way is up, which way is down. So I must ask both of you.
I think it's more of a Josh question than a Spencer question, but I might.
I must due diligence.
Okay.
I don't. You're trying to get me caught in some sort of Dan Rather brouhaha. I need to be sure.
Sure.
I need to consider the source.
Uh-huh.
Josh, Spencer, were either of you ever on Herald?
I was not. I never auditioned. So I did 1 through 4 at UCB, and I did 1 through 5 and advanced training at the People's Improv Theater in New York City. Shouts out to the People's Improv Theater as well.
So you were a Pitizen?
I was a pit. Well, hold on. You ready for this? Hold on. It's my Livestrong bracelet that says the pit.
Wow.
This tie-in is wow.
Wow.
I love both.
What is on that
theaters.
bracelet?
Both,
Bracelet is that?
That's a Livestrong bracelet.
the People's Improv Theater is what it says.
The bracelet?
So, yeah, no, the bracelet it says the pit.
Sort of like a Livestrong situation.
Yeah.
But the bracelet says the pit on it. So anyway, I love both theaters dearly. I hope they both survive this awful pandemic. I know that UCB has taken a hard hit, but I think they will both come back strong, and comedy will come. Improv, especially in New York City, where I am, will come back stronger than it's ever been. I can't wait to see what new shows and new performers and performances there are to have in New York and LA and hopefully around the country. But no, I myself, I never auditioned for a Harold team or a Lloyd team for that matter or anything. I just did it all. I freeballed the whole thing. I was just doing indie teams. I never auditioned.
Okay.
Their loss.
Oh. Thank you, Watto.
I mean,
Now,
Spencer, same question?
I did improv 1 year at summer camp, and then never again because I'm bad at it and it's scary. So I said, no more.
Yeah.
Spencer said no in a scene, and they were like, "Get out of here."
That's it. That's the one rule.
Now the other question.
Your brother Spencer is a great stand-up comedian.
Max Fox shouts out.
New York-based stand-up. This is the follow-up question. Patrick, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Do you want to ask it at the same time, and we'll see if it's the same question?
Both of you were talking about how you had a pretty hot hand career-wise at the time that Air Buddies came along. You were riding high.
I don't think this is the
Which
same
raises the question.
Oh.
Was Air Buddies an offer? Did you have to read, or in 2006 were Josh Flitter and Spencer Fox offer only? And George is gone again.
George would know. I don't remember. I think I had to audition for it, but I think it was they wanted me, but I still read for it.
Sure.
I don't know. I could be completely making that up.
I think it was a similar thing. Yeah, I remember it being like, kind of like, it was like, this is going to be good. You're going to do great.
I mean, you said you were offered 2 roles. You got to choose.
I got to choose. I did. I feel very grateful for that.
You schmuck.
Another question we want to ask all of our guests today. Sure. Do either of you have a dog?
Spencer, you want to go first?
My roommates recently adopted a tiny little idiot Chihuahua, and she's tiny and scared of everything, and it's great.
The I word.
Yeah, the I word. Josh, what about you?
So I had 2 dogs growing up. I actually just very recently in December lost one of my dogs. I happened to have this sitting here. My roommate got me this. We had a Christmas tree in our living room, and they made this for me. It's me with my dog that they got for me and put it up in the Christmas tree. So I had it. I keep it sitting here right on my desk. But I am going to be adopting a dog very soon, believe it or not. This is just a very weirdly timed thing. I was having dreams that I kept having these recurring dreams since my dog passed, that I rescued a dog, and I have been just like absolutely every day just like needing to get a dog. So I've been doing a lot of research and reaching out to places, ASPCA being one of them, looking to bring home a little pup, give a dog a new home.
Yeah.
Okay, George has now gone to a second unit and then put the second unit down.
I don't know what's going on over there.
This is the worst it's ever been,
Yeah.
right?
Is this prequel bad?
I mean, you don't want to ask Guado that question. He's
This is
also
like prequel previs.
he's also fuming in the private chat. He's saying, "I've been backstage for minutes," and then the camera is not right. It's not right.
Right.
I
To be
feel
very
better.
clear, to be
Spencer,
very
right?
clear, that's not what he said. He said, "I have been backstage for minutes."
HAVBE.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, right now, we are at 1952-27. Spencer, I
Yeah,
have to ask,
sure.
is there a stretch goal that we could get to where we could see that dog?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, what's the number we want to make it?
So we're at 1950. If we make it to 2000, I can go run in and grab the little.
I think, you know what? No, I think we got to make it 2100. That's
21. Okay, great.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 2100 because I want more than that.
Can I turn my camera off for a second and look for my wallet, because I would like to make a donation, but I don't know where it is, so I have to find it. And I don't want to go run around.
You do whatever you got to, man.
So
Yeah.
I will be right back.
Okay. All right. So, let's have some donations coming in, guys. bit.ly/GLTS buddies. If we get to 2100, you guys are going to see a dog. And everyone's been Spencer, you have no idea how many pestering tweets and texts and messages I've been getting saying, how many guests are going to be dogs? How many guests are going to be dogs? And I'm like, guys, trust us. Trust us. If you want to see a dog, you got to pay for it.
You gotta pay to play.
You got to pay to play.
This dog it's a sight to behold. It's
Yeah.
she looks like a stuffed animal that got like rained on or something. She's like the defect, like a defect Beanie Baby. There it goes. Oh, man.
I want to reestablish what an exciting moment we are at in the show.
Yeah.
The hanging narrative tension of will George be able to stay on the stream or not continues.
Yeah.
Pillow time stretch goal has been achieved. Blanket time is in sight. The promise of an idiot dog is in sight. And Watto making a second hot dog, drinking a second Budweiser in sight. A lot of big things are going to happen. We got 30 minutes left in air, buddies. It's a thrilling time to be alive.
It's a thrilling time to be alive.
How much do we need to get to see Spencer's roommate's dog?
Like 150, but I'm assuming we're going to be getting some donations coming in a few seconds. So,
You said 150 though?
We're at 150-ish, yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
Flitter casually dropping an original Pokemon lineup.
All right, well, I'll go get the dog. I will be right back.
No, wait till it's ready.
Okay.
I don't want to give away this dog just yet. You know,
Gosh,
wait until we get the money.
$4. My God.
Josh, would you mind? I hate to ask because you're already being so generous. Would you mind making it 151? It would just be so nice to include Mew. Otherwise, it's like we're only going up to Mewtwo.
151.
151. Then we cover the original Pokemon lineup.
Of course, yeah. We got to include Mew. Come on.
You got to. Otherwise, because you didn't feel like you beat the game unless you got Mew.
Yeah, come on. I'm not trying to do Mew like that.
Are you guys Pokemon fans? Let's talk about this.
At one point in my life, sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
About this.
Now,
100%.
Spencer, you're also in a great band called Charlie Bliss.
Yeah, I am in Charlie Bliss.
You are. Have you guys been able to make any music during this, or has this been a quiet time? It's tougher, I imagine, to do stuff like that.
Well, our lovely drummer Sam just had a child last year. The Kinsley is her name. She's actually turning 1 very soon. So this year was like always going to be sort of like a quiet one for us.
Yeah.
And then everything happened, so it's been extra quiet. But I think like as of the summer, we've been churning pretty hard on like remotely making music together. It's actually been great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are lost in the woods now. Did you guys ever get to meet these buddies? That's something we haven't talked about.
I don't think we met like the specific dog.
Woo! Look at it.
Hold on, I'm trying to tap it. Processing.
Here we go.
Did it work?
I mean, I'm sure it did.
We received an error processing your card. Hold on.
Oh my god!
The good news. Listen, the good news is we did get there with some other donations too. So
I'm still doing it. Hold on, I'm gonna do it with a different card because maybe my card got declined. You called me Daddy Warbucks. I don't even know if I have the money.
Yeah, let's see that dog. Let's get that dog.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the dumb dog, and I'll be right back.
And let's see here. Maybe here he is.
Maybe here he is.
The man, the myth, the legend, George.
George.
Oh no!
Things have never been worse.
Why did my card get declined? This is so bad.
George, are you on second unit right now? Maybe switch to your phone.
No, I tried second unit, and the problems were identical.
Okay, George, maybe hear me out then, and this might be a bigger issue. Maybe try to use your desktop.
Third unit?
I think
I'm going to tell you this. I have a feeling that third unit might be the worst of all. Let's try it. I'll be back. My apologies. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Well, you won't need me for this anyway.
Look at that. That is funny.
Well, I'm trying to get her like really.
That is one scared dog.
He's a funny dog.
It's a very funny dog. Oh, right in the sunlight. There she is.
Oh my gosh.
She's ridiculous.
Oh,
she understands nothing.
This rules.
Confusing to her.
This does rule. This rules.
Do we think this is perhaps more of a Wi-Fi issue than?
I'm not sure what it is.
Because I asked George if it was a Wi-Fi issue, and he said, no, my wife is fine. And I can't tell if he was making a joke or mishearing me.
I'm not sure. I sincerely hope he gets this figured out soon, though.
Also, someone in the chat with the username Connor Ratliff Comedy Person keeps apologizing. I don't understand why some random viewer is taking this so hard.
Yeah. So I was asking you guys, did you get to meet the dogs? And then I didn't know if we finished that or not.
I don't think we met like the actual dogs, but as Josh, or I guess we actually haven't talked about this yet, but at the premiere in New York City, there were the whole theater, like the lobby of the theater was just full of golden retriever puppies.
Was it? I don't remember any of this.
I remember it so vividly. I guess you've been to probably so many more premieres than I have.
There was. I remember in the lobby there were a bunch of puppies.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't remember in the theater there being dogs.
No, I misspoke. There were no puppies running through like the aisles of the theater. But like in like the foyer in the foyer of Lowe's AMC in like Times Square or whatever.
Yes, there's a bajillion puppies.
Dozens of puppies. And I was going through so many Google image searches trying to find the picture of the two of us holding puppies from the premiere. And I can't find it.
Can't find any? It didn't happen. That never existed.
Right.
Sounds like that.
Also, we're having another problem here is every card that I'm putting in it's saying we've received an error processing your card. So I'm going to try it from my computer because maybe my phone's having an issue. So
listen, Josh, we're going all day, buddy. So there's no
it's just bizarre though. I don't know why this is that. Oh my god, look at this dog.
It's good narrative tension, Josh. This is like The Empire Strikes Back, where we're like, our heroes might not make it. George can't stay on the stream.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, good. It's
Exactly.
good. We need something to come back from, to overcome.
Right. Now, how long does recording something like this take for you guys? Do you remember how long this would all in all be?
I feel like this was like 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably only a couple of days because I mean, we didn't have a ton of lines like we did, but they're all, very quick, kind of short little things.
Yeah. And there's
no monologuing really with the dogs. So yeah, probably only like a couple of days. And yeah, you just get into a booth and you just run all the lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably only like a couple of days. But I mean, it's the best. It's the most fun work that you can do for the most amount of money. In that, there's a great quote that Chris Rock had once where he talked about, he came out at the Oscars one year and he talked about doing animated work, and he's like, the best part about doing animated work is I went and I did 1 hour of recording for Madagascar, and they gave me $1 million.
That was really not my day rate at the time.
Yeah, no, definitely not our day rates. But just
Spencer, if you had been in Snow Buddies, it would have.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
They jumped to $1 million for so many.
Character growth. I mean, the audience could grow alongside the character instead of just being. I mean, listen, I'm a little bitter about the whole thing, but we'll move past it.
Now, here's the other question. Well, I was going to say, is Mudbuddy in? Oh, Mudbud is in Snow Buddies.
Yeah.
Did they replace you with Skylar Gisondo, or is he in this one?
No, Henry Hodges.
Henry.
I don't know Henry. I know Skylar Gisondo, who's a very popular actor now, was one of these dogs in one of these movies.
He shows up later.
As Abigail Breslin was Rosebud, and she's a good friend of mine. She's a sweetheart. I love Abby.
Great. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Ron.
I want to make our allegiances very clear here on the George Lucas Talk. What is the name of the guy who plays Mudbud in the next film?
Henry Hodges.
He will never be on this film.
He earned a very powerful ally, my friend.
He's a traitor. I hear he named names. He has sowed distrust in our electoral process.
Yeah.
He will never be on the show.
If you just keep this coming, listen, I'm a powerful friend to have, and you have said the right things to me, my friend. And Maya too.
Oh, yes.
Now, he appears to be mostly a theater actor. He was in Mary Poppins on Broadway, and he played Chip in Beauty and the Beast. He's 5'6". His resume's on his website if anyone wants to.
He's 5'6".
2 inches on him. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
He got the big two. Here's the question. We're talking about this film didn't take very long in the recording booth. But Spencer, Incredibles, Pixar's famous for really hammering out their stories over years. So what was the span of time that you were recording for that movie? And were you privy to it going through a bunch of different sort of drafts and gestations? Did you record a bunch of scenes that didn't make it in the film as things were evolving?
Well, I think by the time they got around to casting, they had been working on The Incredibles for something like 11 years. So shit was pretty tight.
Yeah.
And I only was in the booth for 2 days for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was 2 marathon 8-hour days of just me and Brad Bird. Not many breaks except for lunch. And it was great. It was amazing, but it was just fucking I'm allowed to say.
You're a guest. It's fine.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, 2 days, just 2 very, very intense work days.
Yeah.
Well, so here's a follow-up question there. If of 2 days, what percentage of that time do you think was spent on you doing running sounds? That's you have a lot of dialogue in that movie, but also there's a lot of running.
So there's actually it's how when you used to go to the movie theater, they would have little fun facts that would play before the movie started.
Yeah.
So one of those fun facts, I think at IFC theaters was about how when I was recording the role of Dash, Brad Bird wasn't impressed enough with my fake panting. So he actually had me run 4 laps around the entirety of Pixar Studios, which is almost a mile.
Yeah.
It's huge. And I was a tiny fat 10-year-old. So that really took its toll on my little body. And that's how the said running sounds were achieved. And I would say that took up like a very good portion of the second day of recording.
And that's how you got Jack too. You're answering a couple
Right.
questions at
So-
the same time.
Yes. The way that I got Kumail jacked was Brad Bird was sort of like my instructor.
Sure.
He's also jacked. He's ripped. He's cut.
Did you do? I guess this is a Josh question too. Did you do the video games or anything, Spencer, or was it movie? And that's
I did like the whole spread. There was like video games. I did like the toys for McDonald's.
Wow.
I think the funniest one was I did the voice for they did like an Incredibles on Ice at like at Disneyland, and I did the recording for that.
That's fun. Josh, have you ever done a video game before?
No, I don't believe so. I never did anything that was like a movie that they turned into a video game, and then I don't think that I've done a video game job separately from that.
Ace Ventura Jr., the video game never came out.
Believe it or not, they didn't. It never got released.
It's a missed
I'm so thrown because I've tried 3 separate credit cards and all of them are not working, and I'm now worried that like my bank account is thinking that I'm trying to that someone is like stealing money from me or something. So I'm gonna figure this out. And
I love this B story that we have going on.
Seriously, like I'm so thrown.
Bank account.
It is getting
so thrown.
It is getting a little busy because with Josh's B story, George's B story,
right.
Mine is a C story. Mine is a C story.
By the way, George, it says the pit is what it says on it. By the way,
there's a Livestrong in the
Why
picture.
Why is it not yellow anymore? What happened?
Oh boy. I'm going to go make the next hot dog,
Right.
so George can take over the narrative further.
Yeah, George, this sounds a lot better. It seems like you're
I've
back.
never been less happy. I was happier when my first marriage was falling apart.
Oh no.
I have
that
never
could be a
been.
good thing for people.
Yeah.
Give $5 right now.
So George, all right, George, since you've been sort of MIA, I'm gonna let you ask.
I'm in the weeds on this because I've missed so much of Air Buddies. I'm lost. They're in a vineyard. Are they at Francis's house? Where are they? This looks like Skywalker Ranch. I could look out my window and see this. What is happening? George, I think I'm way behind. What is the time code on Air Buddies?
103:27. George, I want you to ask some questions. Why is okay? First of all, this film really is it's a transitional film in many ways because now I feel like if they were to make this, the dogs would be completely CGI. You wouldn't have any real dogs, but the mouths are CGI. Those aren't real. They aren't really talking. Mm-hmm.
But so you really are. Oh, sorry. What's the time code again? 104:05,
104:06.
All right. It's so easy to catch up on the HBO Max app.
George is an HBO Max fan. Well, what are your guys' favorite?
I totally stand HBO Max.
What are your guys' favorite streaming services?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
I stand Max.
Hulu purist, baby.
Ooh,
Whoa. Okay.
So HBO Max has now taken a nice lead because they have the entire Looney Tunes universe, and I am a really, really big Bugs Bunny fan from growing up. I was like the biggest.
So far, they keep adding. They've only got I think roughly half of the classic Looney Tunes right now, but it feels like pretty soon they'll have all of them except for the really racist ones. I don't think those will ever be on. And I think those are all very easily accessible on YouTube and on the dark web, I assume. So anyone who wants to see those historical artifacts, they can be found. They're not lost. You can. It is easier to see a racist Bugs Bunny cartoon than to see the 1977 cut of Star Wars, and I think that's as it should be.
Oh my God! Oh, it looks like this is the second coming of the Messiah. This looks like Christ reborn.
It's just beautiful lighting. And what's that droid in the background? Who's that guy?
An air conditioner.
No. Let's give it a clever name. Let's say AR.
AR-15.
No, not
Yeah,
AR.
that's a great one.
Hey,
Good
no,
one,
I like that. It's an AR-15, George.
it's an AR-15. And you are in a bunker? You are down in a bunker?
Yes, I am in my apocalypse bunker.
Now,
I've been
is that
for the
is
past
that
7 months.
is that AR unit automatic or is it?
It's an automatic AR-15. Yeah.
Wow, you should not be able to have that.
Oh,
I got it
no.
at Walmart, so I don't know.
Tell me a little bit about the personality of this droid that you have in your bunker. What is he fussy or is he loosey-goosey?
He's pretty fussy. He
All right.
needs a lot of attention.
All right.
Not the best quarantine pal.
Mhm.
Is he
Not
noisy?
the best person, not the best droid to have in your pod.
Is he noisy or quiet?
He's a very loud AR-15.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I regret making this joke.
Seconds.
I regret making this improv joke. I heard AR and my improv brain was like, oh,
No,
AR.
I have 1B BBR is saying calling him AR3UD, so it looks like Airbud.
Oh, that's great.
I love that.
Great.
Okay,
AR
that's
3UD.
George, I also want to say we did hit a few stretch goals.
All
We
right.
did hit That's Pillow Time and How About a Blankie?
All right. Okay. Well, I don't have the same ease of motion that I had in my former setup,
That's okay.
so I won't hear you while I take these earbuddies out.
Now that's improv right there.
No,
baby.
that's
That's
That
comedy.
is comedy.
Pillow time.
Pillow Time.
So this is where you just get a pillow?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do we are we mentioning the child's name or are we not?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Okay.
Grogu. Yeah.
yeah, right here. We got the original Baby Yoda right here.
I
We got
didn't know
Grogu.
if we were saying Grogu or if we. I know it's been 2 seasons, but I just wanted to make sure that we weren't spoiling for people.
Here's what we're saying. It's been out long enough where if you haven't seen it yet, that's on you.
I only just recently watched the whole thing.
Well, that's good. But you did watch it, and that's what
Eat it over
counts.
here.
Oh, it's amazing! It's incredible.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Blanky time,
We're
George.
spoiling. Let's go ahead and spoil everything.
George, did you have anything to do with The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I stopped by and visited. I said, make sure it's good for kids. Look at. How about a blankie?
How about a
Wow.
blankie? Oh,
Oh,
Cozy
wow.
Get-
And look, here's the original Baby Yoda.
Looks
And
great.
look, it's Bing Bong.
yeah.
Nope. I was making my next hot dog and getting my next bud, but I heard this slander on the air. This is the original Baby
No,
Yoda.
this is the original Baby
Ba-
Yoda.
Baby Yoda wearing a yarmulke?
This is
Of
actually
course.
the original Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I will
Is
say
that
that is the chosen Baby Yoda, but this is the original Baby Yoda.
Got it.
We have a
Name is
Jewish Baby
original.
Yoda.
Yes.
Huge.
I feel so
2021.
represented. I feel so represented. I love
I had
it.
a feeling that Baby Yoda was circumcised, so I'm glad that this is confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There
Look.
it is. Circumcised right off.
He's
Right,
Baby
everybody-
Yoda.
Now, Josh, you're answering the question. I believe there's a viral tweet going around right now that says, tell us the first time you felt represented in media. And now Josh is seeing this and he says, this is it.
It was. I did tweet. I tweeted a picture of myself in the greatest game ever played. I retweeted it with a picture of myself in the greatest game ever played.
Great.
Look, I'm a slut for the attention. What can I
You
say?
got it.
I'm on Twitter. Just everyone follow me on Twitter
Oh.
at Flitter.
Hey, this is what everyone is here for, to
I
plug.
do impressions of Ben Shapiro because he sucks and I make fun of him.
That's great.
It's a good time.
Josh, how grateful do you feel that your last name maps so well on the 2 most popular social media platforms?
I'm on Instagram at Flitstagram and I'm on Twitter at Flitter.
Wow. Damn.
So it's clean. So there's 2 quick stories with those names. On Instagram, my older brother was the first one to have Flitstagram, and he sold it to me for 69 cents. And when I started getting more popular on the internet,
Yeah.
so he was like, "You should have this." And then on Twitter, I was Josh_Flitter for a long time because some weird guy was making fun of me in like 2012 and made it at Josh Flitter account. Really weird stuff.
Yeah.
But I've yet to. He never deleted it, and he hasn't tweeted since like 2012. So I reached out to the person who had at Flitter,
Yeah.
And I just DM'd them. Was like, hey, I'd like to like buy this from you. You know, whatever. They were like, you can have it, and just gave it to me. So
Wow.
I very easily was at Flitter on Twitter at Flitter. It was perfect.
Wow.
At Flitter on Twitter, at Flitter. That's great.
Yeah, I got very lucky. I feel very lucky. Watto, are you on Twitter?
Josh, what a great question. And what an amazing segue. Watto has been,
Should we make this a stretch goal?
I think we should make this a stretch goal.
Yeah.
George
let's
set up a Twitter account for Watto. He has not used it yet. He was going to reveal it today, but I think it needs to be a stretch goal for Watto to activate his account and make his first ever tweet.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so let's do what do you want to say? Let's bump Pillow Time 2 up to 35 and we'll make Watto Twitter 32. Because I think we can get that by the end of this movie.
Okay.
That's great. What a wild coincidence. I didn't know
I
about
forgot.
that.
I wanted to bring it up today, but keep your eyes on at Watto though. WATTTHO. George was very kind. He paid $1 million to buy that for Watto for Hanukkah.
Wow.
Someone was sitting on that handle.
I'm gonna quickly bring. She's getting a little fussy,
Yeah.
so I'll be right back.
We are also at 304596. So Watto, that means you get another dog and a bud.
I just got this one.
Well,
You took too long, Watto. You got to hammer it.
Okay, ready? Watto is going to try to eat this as quickly as possible, shotgun the Budweiser as quickly as possible.
oh, no.
Watto's gonna puke.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Ready? Okay.
Now,
The
Josh,
necessary crunch.
that's funny that you say that, Josh, because earlier you brought up Horton Hears a Who. And can I tell you something?
Sure. Did you throw up at that movie?
I did.
Can I hear the story?
I ate too much popcorn.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought there
I
was
went-
gonna be
No,
a
there's not a whole-
story that you got
there's not a
like
whole
wasted.
story. No, but when you said it, I had a vivid flashback. I believe we saw it on Easter. Ate a lot of popcorn and threw up in the movie theater, like bathroom area.
I feel like
Wow.
popcorn vomit is very unpleasant.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
imagine.
gross. It was
Yeah.
really bad.
Very bad.
Yeah.
I
wow.
am disturbed at the speed at which Watto just inhaled that hot dog.
Disgusting.
I'm
Disgusting.
impressed. Turned on a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Is it spicy, Watto? What is this?
Oh,
It's hot. Oh, it's hot. Okay. He's gonna die today on this.
You don't look well.
You look bad.
That's not the way a body should.
You genuinely look bad.
Do the Watto, baby. Do the Watto.
He does this. He does this every month during our marathons, where he will eat something disgusting, and every time I'm like, by 10 p.m. you're not going to be here anymore.
Yeah. Does anyone ask him to do this to his poor
No.
body?
No, he
What
just,
what species is Watto? Does he have a
he's a toydarian.
how is the Toydarian digestive tract?
bad, because I'm Jewish on my mother's side, so I got that sort of nervous
Right.
intestinal tract.
I understand.
Patrick, do you notice that this week I didn't even tell you
Yeah.
what the food challenge was going to be? Because usually I tell you in advance and you say don't do it. And this time I didn't even let you know.
Now someone made this. This is the Jabba the Hutt band with Spencer.
Oh my God.
Spencer's in Jabba the Hutt's band now.
That's what you call it?
What do you want to call it, George?
Aren't
Yeah.
they just called the Cantina Band?
No,
Or
this- No, this is Max Rebo's band. I'm seeing if they're in
Oh,
it.
I'm so sorry. Oh God, Star Wars fans are gonna rip me to shreds
That's
for that
okay.
one.
It's okay. Now the movie just finished in loving memory of Patrick Crenshaw and Don Knotts.
Wow, man.
It did. Can you look at the people that died because of this movie?
Hey,
Directly because of this movie.
Patrick and George, while I try to down this beer,
Yeah.
we should extend our fan art promise to our guests before we move on to the next movie.
Sure. George, do you want to? I'll let you handle it, George.
Yeah, our audience is very swift delivering fan art. So if there's anything you would like to see, it can be fan art of you or your characters, or it could just be fan art of something that you're a fan of that you'd love to see brought into existence. But now's the time to request, and they can have it within minutes.
Can someone please make Ace Ventura Jr. me, but a bunch of Ewoks?
Yeah.
So like all of the like a a bunch of Ewoks, but they're all little Ace Ventura Juniors.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes, this is very deliverable.
I would like to see George very prominently displaying a Livestrong bracelet. That's it. That's all.
See, Spencer's is great. Mine was too selfish.
What's up?
What kind of bracelet are you talking about?
It's a Livestrong bracelet.
Well, those are red. See, they're red and black.
So no, it's a Livestrong bracelet. Goes right
Yeah,
here.
I know. I watched the show.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, I'm looking at the billing because there's live action billing of the on-camera actors, and then it's Don Knotts first build, Josh Flitter second build, then Abigail Breslin, Spencer Fox is fourth.
Still pretty good.
Pretty good.
Dominic Scott K. Skylar Gisondo is in this one. He's beat up.
Spencer, do not feel shame at being fourth. I started Star Wars with 4. Okay.
But you should feel shame in being billed behind me.
Listen. It tracks, man. It tracks.
I hate that you're not fighting me back. I'm feeling bad at making these jokes. I want you to give it back to me, Spencer.
No. I just write down.
This is getting very Jedi Sith energy from the two of you. Spencer's going full Obi-Wan. Look, he even has the higher ground in the frames on the.
He trusted me.
I tried, Josh.
Now, Spencer and Josh, since this is wrapping up, we're wrapping up our time here. I want to see, what are your final memories that you want to impart upon the world from your time on this? Not on this show, on Air Buddies.
Okay, sure. Josh, you go first.
Oh, I was pointing at you. You go first.
No.
So
this is my role.
Well,
I'm always behind you, bud.
I'm gonna cry. These movies over the years have been quite strange to be a part of because, as you said, we know that some of the animals were not treated so well on some of these movies, and only found out about that recently. And it's got kind of a weird taste to it because I'm really proud of making movies for kids, and I love when I meet people who say that they love to show these movies to their kids and stuff. And that they make them, happy and smiley and stuff. But I also get really upset knowing that happened because of how much dogs and animals mean to me. Yeah. So it's been kind of a mixed bag of emotions of how I feel to be part of these movies. But, still proud of it.
Josh, I was a part of Beverly Hills Cop 3, which was directed by John Landis. Okay. So I know what you're talking about. Like, I've worked with a filmmaker who has, years prior to that was Google it. Just he knows what he did.
I think I know a little bit about what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's just we've all worked with filmmakers who've done horrible things, and we have to live with that.
Yeah. But also we're reclaiming this today, and we're raising money for a very good cause.
Well, adopt, rescue, and save animals. Yeah. They will love to be in your home and be your best friends.
Yeah, today we're working to try to make things better. So we're even just showing up on the stream. You're going some distance towards. We try to we make mistakes. We try to be better. We try to make the world better.
We're doing good.
That's what life is all about.
Now, Spencer, let's hear your. We'd love to hear your parting words.
Yeah, my parting words were after the premiere of this movie, I got food poisoning at a Hard Rock cafe. Similarly to Josh, just care, show compassion, and boycott Hard Rock eateries around the globe.
Those are good.
Right, that's good.
I want to wait for Watto to come back before we let you guys go because I want to
apologize for how absent I was for the majority of your time on the show.
It's okay. We're used to it. I feel like George was probably absent for a lot of the. Actually, no, the opposite. He was too a part of the making of the movies.
I was around for everything.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
the opposite. I'm incorrect. Yeah, I wish you were more absent.
One of these days, I'd love to catch up and find out what the deal was with that crazy bracelet you had.
Yeah, it was a Live Strong bracelet.
I don't know.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Oh boy, what are you guys going to do for the rest of the day? What's the rest of your day look like? I know that's a big question.
It's huge.
Like, what am I gonna do today? Maybe I'll go outside.
Okay.
You know, and breathe in some. I will try. I will do my hardest to be careful. I have an audition that I have to do, a self-tape for an audition.
To help you with
For,
it?
Ace Ventura Junior.
Right now, yeah, it's for Ace Ventura Jr. No, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to.
You can't talk about it. You can't talk about it. But do you want us to help you with it as a blind item? Like you censor everything, so we won't know what it is. Don't say what any of the lines are. Paraphrase the lines. And
sure,
give
okay.
I'll me
paraphrase
a paraphrase. Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Change every word, but have it mean the same thing.
The audition actually is one line. So
great.
Let me just pull it up. Spencer, you talk as I'm going through my email to pull it up about what you're doing today. I mean,
yeah, what are you doing today?
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to like live super strong today. Just live very strong. Sort of just like keep a tight grasp on things, the way that like a bracelet would be tightly wrapped around one's wrist.
Yeah.
Just live.
Spencer, can I ask? Sit back just a little, just the way you were before. No, lean forward a little bit. Do you have in front of you the briefcase from Pulp Fiction?
My friend, I do.
It genuinely, there's such a golden glow. If you lean a certain way, like when you cross your arms like that, it blocks it. No, forward. No, right there. You'll see it.
Yeah, you were going like, you'll see it. You'll see it under you. There's like an aura.
There's a moment. Yeah, move around. No. Back to me. Back to me. Why can't we get it?
You're doing too much.
Too much.
This is just because George is a terrible director.
There you
That's
go.
all.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Oh, look, Tiny Spencer. Honey, we shrunk the Spencer.
Love it. That's some fan art right there, baby.
All right, Josh, to wrap us up, let's hear these paraphrase lines that we can help you with.
Here's one part of the one line completely out of context.
Okay. Yes.
Making a pun with the word pun.
That's good.
Making a pun with the word pun.
That's one part of the clump of three lines that I have that I say in a row out of context.
What I like about that line, it's very similar to, because it uses repetition, similar to the line from Air Buddies where they say the dogs have been dognapped by a bunch of dognappers, where they repeat the line, and that's why it's funny, because you hear something more. Anytime you hear something more than once, it's funny. Name any word. Give me any word.
Give me any word. Any word? Live strong.
Yes.
I guess it doesn't work with every word.
All right, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
We love
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, buddies. Bye, buddies.
Bye.
Live strong. Live strong.
Live strong. Oh, boy. Now, guys,
Patrick, this was such a good start to this stream. How are we going to top that? How are we going to keep the energy up? We had Flitter and Fox.
Yeah, I don't know how we can keep it up. I know we have some guests in the waiting room right now. If they, I believe one of them typed up their intro in the private chat, but the one who just joined, if he could type how he would like to be introduced into the private chat. Listen, I see him shaking his head. It could be a joke. It can be serious. It can be just introducing by his character's name. However you want to do it, we will do it that way.
Yes.
And one of the guests, I'm not sure if your camera is on. I don't see it, but you should be able to click camera on and it should go on.
Let's alert people. We're good to go. Get Snow Buddies queued up. Once we have our guests on with us, we'll start watching Snow Buddies. Now, are we ready to bring?
We are ready to go. We are ready to go,
folks. This is a big moment. Two towering icons are about to join the George Lucas talk show. Grogu's and Gragas. First up, you know him. He's always typecast as a dad dog. The voice of Bud himself, Tom Everett Scott.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, let's bring in the second guest, Wada, so we can press play on this.
Second guest. What can I say? You know her best as the voice of Miss Mittens, a Himalayan cat in the film Snow Buddies. She's also an EGOT winner, and her intro that she asked for verbatim is simple. Hi, whoop. Grogu's and Gragas, Whoopi goddamn Goldberg.
Hello, Tom Scott.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Whoopi. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. We're so
It's
psyched
been-
that you're here.
Too long. It's been far too long.
Yes.
That's true.
We're gonna press play on the movie, and then we'll start chatting. So let's. You guys don't have to be watching, but we'll talk. All right, George, Wado, you guys ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Already.
All right, we're gonna press play in 1, 2, 3. So I guess the first question is, do you remember how you guys got involved with this movie?
No.
So it's okay if you don't. It's totally okay if you don't.
No, I don't.
Great. We just watched the first one. Tom, I believe you're in the first one too.
Air Buddies?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So then I was cast in Air Buddies, and then that's how I got into Snow Buddies. And Robert Vince, the director, he says that when he thinks of a dad dog, he thinks of me.
Oh, high praise.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you guys enjoy doing voiceover work?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It there's
You've done a number.
Whoopi's incredible. I mean, what
I was
Lion
gonna
King
say.
was amazing.
yeah.
Right, Lion King, Page Master, Toy Story 3. I mean, you have a humongous voiceover career on top of everything else you've done.
Well, I don't know that I call it humongous, but I do like doing it. I have, I've had a lot of grandchildren who've grown up and now one great-grand. And so there is something wonderful when you're 6 and you can say, "Is that you?" And that's what she says to me. "Is that you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. She goes, "How can you do this?" She's like taken. She doesn't understand how it's possible to give one's voice, and that makes me happy. So I like doing it. I prefer it almost to anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look, I don't want to get into drama, but I do feel like there is a controversy that we need to address right off the bat. And Tom, I'm sorry for even making you an audience to this, but we have to just clear the air, Whoopi, okay?
What? Yeah.
We've been doing this show online since last May.
Right.
And Patrick, George, and I have had a little bit of an ongoing friction because we all have our baby Yodas, and we often argue about which one of us was the first to get the baby Yoda, the original baby Yoda. And then I look up, you have had the baby Yoda in the background every episode of The View.
Yes.
For almost a year now. As long as you've been doing The View at home, you've had the baby Yoda.
Yes.
Do you, in fact, have the original baby Yoda?
Maybe.
Wow.
Will not confirm, but will not deny. That's not a denial.
No, I'm just saying, maybe. Listen, Baby Yoda plays a large part in my daily life. So I like Baby Yoda. Now, he's not here right now because he's in the John.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you let him do what he needs to do. You don't have to keep an eye on him the whole day.
But listen, it's not that I let him do it. Baby Yoda does what Baby Yoda wants to do. Baby Yoda not waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I just, am happy that Yoda has stayed as long, Baby Yoda stayed as long as he has. So, yeah. So, but
go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you more about. Well, I should ask Tom. Tom, tell me about this movie we made. Because, you know, I for some reason it's not in my head now. Maybe that I'm getting older and stuff is just getting moved around. But tell me about. I know it's puppies, and I know I'm a cat. This much I know.
It's true. You play Miss Mittens, and the only reason I know that is because I woke up at 8:30 this morning and put Snow Buddies on so that I would have something to talk about during this. And I couldn't remember it either.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I couldn't even remember like what the storyline was, but it's the buddies go to they get stuck in an ice cream thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get shipped to Alaska, and they meet some sled dog, and they help some kid win some sled dog race.
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's kind of cool.
It's so cool.
That's kind of cool. All right.
I like that we're selling you.
Yes.
I like that we're selling you on the movie for the second time. This is great.
Right.
This is us pitching it to you again.
Well, I feel the same way I did the first time. Yeah, that sounds like something I could do.
Yeah. Right. In both cases, you went, sure, that's an okay way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah.
Both appearing on this live stream and being in the movie.
Well, there's a lot worse things I could be doing and have done.
It's true. It's true.
So,
I mean, Tom,
It's
tell us
not in a bad way.
Tom,
Go
tell us about the character of Miss Mittens. What is she like?
Oh, you know, I don't really know how to put it into words. It's more of a feeling.
You could do it in gestures. If you can't put it into words, tell us just with a facial expression, perhaps. What is Miss Mittens? Is she friend or foe?
Oh, you know, she's mysterious. She's a mysterious gal.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sounds like me. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever try to know.
Yeah. And you don't know her. The days that Bud was hanging out with her, yeah, she might have been having bad days. You know, you don't want to totally paint her as a bad person, you know, just because of the time they spent with her. Yeah. Yeah.
Does she have more than 2 lines?
Now, is that something that you take into consideration when you're taking a role? If it's like, well, she's got 90 lines, are you more likely to say, we'll let someone else do it?
No, I just was trying to figure out if she like just scratched people or if she said stuff to people. But if it's a kid's movie about puppies, I'm banking that she was probably scratching something and being a little, you know, kitty-like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what you need to understand about the mythology at play here is that Mittens is a Himalayan cat. And right now in the film, we are far from the Himalayas. We're in just suburban green grassland. And Tom's character, Bud, is of course the prodigious Air Bud, a dog who was permitted to play sports amongst humans because there was nothing in the rule book saying he couldn't.
Right.
Now he has puppies. The puppies get into all sorts of adventures.
Right.
I think, spoilers, they're going to end up in the Himalayas in some snow and meet the cat.
These are not our puppies, right? Like we didn't hook up and
you and I
thing, right?
You are asking 2 separate questions, Whoopi. Did you and I hook up?
Question. Whose kids are these? Whose puppies are these? Are these my puppies?
You think you're asking 1 question, you're asking 2. Did you and I hook up? Yes, of course. Many times. Are they our puppies? No.
So you're in the movie too?
No. That's what I'm saying. Us hooking up has nothing to do with this film. That was just us working the clubs together. Yes.
All right. I remember that.
I middled for you in Boise.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Do you guys now? Does this happen often where someone will bring up a movie to you guys and you're like, I remember nothing from that?
I thought you were going to say, does it happen often that someone accuses me of having puppies with them?
Listen, you can answer either one.
No, I think that this is a tough one because these movies kind of blur together for me. It's just like I go to the booth, I read the lines as the dad dog, and my kids were the right age to see these when they came out.
Yeah.
So I did watch this one back with my kids.
That's fun. Whoopi, now this is actually every month we do a fundraiser where we watch either a film series or a TV show along with people who were in it. And this is actually I think it's the second one that you've been in because we watched Muppets Tonight a few months ago.
You did?
You did, yeah. Do you remember anything from I know you've done the worked with the Muppets a lot,
right?
But do you remember anything from Muppets Tonight?
Muppets Tonight I've done a couple of films with them, so
it was a TV show mid-90s. It was sort of like the Muppet Show. It was like an updated version of the Muppet Show.
Was I with Piggy?
I think
you were with everyone. You were like a special guest host. You did sketches with them.
Right.
Of course.
Did Piggy and I do Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend?
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, I remember a lot from that because they were all real diamonds that we got from my friends at Harry Winston.
Wow.
Yes. And so Piggy and I are covered in at least $12 to $15 million worth of jewelry while singing. So it was great fun. It was great fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love the Muppets, and I'm going to have to watch this with Charlie. She's my great grand, and so this will be something she doesn't know about. Yeah, cool.
I mean, what people don't like dogs? I mean, puppies and dogs, they're the best.
She loves dogs. She loves dogs. I'm a cat person because
you're Miss Mittens.
Yeah, well, see, as it turns out, I'm just playing myself.
Yes.
Dogs need a lot of, they need a lot of guidance like little kids. I only had one kid, so that tells you everything.
Now, we're raising money for the ASPCA today, and we're at it's like $3,200 so far we've done. Can you guys help give us a pitch for people to donate? Why should people donate?
You want to go first, Tom?
Yeah, my wife and I have been rescuing dogs since, we've been together since the mid 90s. We met in college, and, that was our first kid with this rescue from, named Dutch. And you got to help the dogs that don't have anybody else to help them. Mm-hmm. They can't do it. They're dogs. So we as people got to help save their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with your money. You could go have a couple of more lattes. You could, go and buy some weed. There's a whole bunch of things you could do. But one of the greatest things you could do is put some money towards some food for an animal who got rescued because she or he was living in a flood zone, or because she or he was being beat up by an adult, a grown person. And as much as you think that you care, throw some food out there. Think about it as you're feeding.
I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive. You can get a latte, smoke weed, and save some dogs.
Yeah, I think those are all good.
There's so many people who just think, oh my God, what am I going to do today? And I figure if you're going to get a latte, just get one.
Mm-hmm.
And throw some money towards the pups.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats, they don't have anybody. They can't explain where they came from. They they look at you and say, could you help? How can you not?
Let's also mention, if you want to be a regular Tom Everett Scott, not only can you donate money to the ASPCA, but through the ASPCA, you could foster a dog yourself if you're looking to get involved and offer your help hands-on.
Yes. Yeah. Now, don't forget, they foster all kinds of animals. Mm-hmm. They foster, ducks. They foster turtles. They foster everything. They're there to take care of the animals. They're doing all the stuff that you and I can't do because we're doing other stuff. So I say spend some money. So if people want to donate, what do they do?
Well, they go to, there's a link in the bottom corner that says bit.ly/GLTS buddies. If you guys type that in, it'll send you right to the fundraising page that we set up for the ASPCA. It's down underneath Watto. It's that yellow underneath Watto.
Yeah. That's good.
So it's right there. So you guys, if you want to, it would help out a lot. And there's a lot of people watching right now. So I think, now's the time if you're going to do it.
Now, Whoopi, Whoopi,
yes.
you're a fan of Star Wars.
I am,
and you've expressed an interest in being in a Star Wars, but you are deeply involved in the I would say the deep mythology of Star Trek.
Yes,
with one of the greatest and most mysterious characters in all of science fiction, Guinan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it still true that we are going to get to see Guinan again in Star Trek Picard season 2? Is that still happening? I'm very.
It's exciting.
It is.
How does that? Yeah, go ahead, George.
I'm very excited to see that, because even though I do hope that you're able to enter the Star Wars universe at some point, but I'm glad to see you continuing that journey as Guinan.
As am I. And I really was at one point really hoping to become part of the Star Wars universe, but I realized that, you can't be everywhere all the time. So I'm very happy to be in my next generation groove, and I'm going to go do Picard when it's a lot safer to come to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They keep saying it's very bad in Los Angeles, like it's not very bad everywhere, but I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I love science fiction. For me, it made me understand as a little kid, that there was going to be a continuation of the world. And then Star Trek allowed me to understand that I was actually probably going to be part of it, because there were Black people in the future, which I didn't know when I watched other science fiction, because you never saw it. And then there was Lieutenant Uhura looking hot, being cute, and she was the one you contacted before you talked to anybody. She's a communications officer. And I thought, geez, that's cool. That's cool. So it made me feel better, and gave me a great love for visual science fiction.
Well, I mean, here's a big question for both of you, for Tom and the Whoopster. George sold Star Wars, right? That's why we're doing a live stream on the internet every Sunday. He doesn't have the creative say anymore. But this is free reign. We have the ear of the mouse, right? Mickey himself is probably watching this stream.
I hope so.
Tom and Whoopi, if you could play any character in the Star Wars universe, what would it be? What kind of character would you want to play?
Oh man, I just remember being so bummed when Ewan McGregor got cast as Obi-Wan, because I wanted that so bad.
Sorry.
I would love to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just ever since Sir Alec Guinness played the role in episode 4.
Tom, I'll tell you, I'll be very honest. Your presence in that thing you do was too powerful. I was worried that people would call him Oneater One Kenobi.
I hear you. Obi-Wan probably doesn't have that kind of, shades groove. But
you
so
could
be it.
play Obi-2 Kenobi. We could establish a brother, Obi-2 Kenobi.
There you go.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Obi-2 Kenobi, would you take that if you were offered Obi-Wan's brother?
I mean, absolutely. We don't even have to involve agents and managers. We could just do this deal right now.
That's great.
Will they be mad at you if they don't get involved? That feels like something that you gotta let them know about.
Their feelings would be hurt. That's true.
Sure.
Let's get some fan art of Obi-2 Kenobi, and really, because I do feel like they're doing that Kenobi series, but Ewan's not going to want to do 5 years of a TV show. So if Obi-2 pops in, are you willing to do multiple seasons? Because the show's, I think, just called Kenobi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be Obi-Wan. Could
Doesn't
be
have to be
OB2.
Obi-Wan. It could be Obi-2. Yeah, sure. I'll jump in there. I will happily lend my doggy dad voice to that role.
Tom, do you have a preference in the spelling of OB2? Do you want TWO, TOO, or TO?
I'm going to leave the weird spelling to you, George. You're so
All right.
good at twisting
All
those names.
Three O's. OB2 Kenobi with 3 O's.
Oh, beautiful.
Because it's far away in the past.
Whoopi, what about you? Do you have anything?
I'd want to be with Yoda. So I'd like to be, Yoda's,
Friend.
cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
It's all about family. The saga is all about family. That's what it's
Well,
ultimately
yeah, you just
comes
call me
down to.
Woda.
Woda. And let's see some Woda fan art. Let's see some Woda fan art. WHODA.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to click the yellow button and it isn't clicking.
Oh,
We can give you a link, Whoopi.
Okay, please do.
yeah. I'll give you the link.
Okay. Yes, I would like to. Because I'd like to. I feel like Yoda and I'd be working for Yoda. Yeah.
Or maybe, Guinan style, you're the one giving Yoda advice. When Yoda's stressed out, he comes to Woda, and you're like, let me tell you what's going on.
Well, he comes to my bar. I will always have a bar. I should always have a bar. Folks should come to.
Yeah.
But that sounds good.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Whoopi, because you're talking about donating. You, of course, were one of the founders of Comic Relief, right? You, Billy Crystal, Robin Williams, raising money for big causes. We are now 3 people doing comedy on the internet. Patrick, retired filmmaker George Lucas, and myself, Watto, trying to raise money for different causes. What advice can you give us in trying to blend comedy and fundraising?
Just do what you're doing. Don't do anything different. Just do what you're doing.
Mhm.
Just do what you're doing.
Are you saying we're perfect?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that bad?
No,
that's great.
Great. It's great.
Good.
That's
And
really
and I drink to you.
Thank you. I mean, look, we've all.
I'll do that as well. We'll drink to you.
Tom, I watched a movie you were in a few days ago, Tom, and I would love to hear about the making of it. It's a little movie called Mars Needs Moms, where you play Dad.
Right. That's
How
true.
was that? Because that was all motion capture, right? You guys were just inside a big warehouse with a bunch of dots all over you?
That's right. And I feel like I lucked out because Mars didn't need dads. So I got to kind of slide in for a couple days and slide out.
Yeah.
I know. Whoopi, have you ever done the motion capture?
No, I'd been talking to think of his name, who did all of the motion capture for Planet of the Apes.
Andy Serkis.
Andy, and I said to him, listen, I'm getting old. Can I come play with you when you guys are like, when you just got some extra stuff you have to do? Just put me in that thing. He said, okay. So I want to do, because I think that's a remarkable way to stay present.
Yeah.
Not having to necessarily, lose weight or get skinny or, any of those things, or be black. My God,
Right.
Yeah. Play anything in motion capture. So no, I've been bothering Andy Serkis for a long time, for years.
Motion capture.
He's so good.
Motion capture is by far the healthiest way to either gain or lose weight.
more than being trapped in your house for 9 months. That was the easiest weight I ever gained. I mean, 2 asses. That's me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign up for some motion capture work after this pandemic myself.
Yeah.
Seeing as I can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
What has it been like? I'm assuming you shoot The View from your house. What has that been like? Not having to leave and just still getting to do the thing that you did every day from there.
It's been heaven, and I'm not going to lie. I may never go outside again. ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a scoop. That's a scoop.
that is an exclusive.
You know what? But it's just, yeah. I mean,
Now-
I like it. Oh,
Um,
in the show.
Tom, have you been able to film anything or work on anything while you've been at home?
No, the last show I was working on was a series called I'm Sorry. We shut down in mid-March, and since then, no. I have friends who have gone off to work, and it's not like I wouldn't go. I would.
Yeah.
I see everybody working with the PPE. Everybody's got their gear on and stuff. But I think it's slowly starting to ramp up. But for almost, I would say, for every 3 shows that starts back up, I would say 1 or 2 of them get shut down immediately because there's an outbreak.
Yeah.
So it seems to just be kind of like going along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a big question for both of you, and I don't want to embarrass my friend George, but he is getting up there in age. He can be forgetful. The two of you are Hollywood big shots. You've done everything. You've had massive careers spanning decades. Have either of you crossed paths with George in the past? I know neither of you ever worked with him directly, but have you crossed paths?
Now, Whoopi, Whoopi, I remember when you hosted the making of Captain EO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were the for people who maybe couldn't make it to the theme park to see it. There was this great little sort of short film that I think people can find it online, where you were people's guide to that world, and that was, of course, I did the story for that, and I produced it for my friend Francis.
I love that. It was great fun.
Yeah, and of course, prior to that, you worked with my buddy Steve on The Color Purple.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, which is one of his best movies, I think.
I think so too. But I think you're dating us, George.
Yeah, perhaps I am. But later on, I know. I mean, I never directed you personally, but I feel like we're in worlds that are circling one another. You know?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm getting a text from our friend Anthony Carboni, who's been on the show before. He's a great host and video guy and everything. He wants me to ask about werewolf bungee jumping from American Werewolf in Paris. He wants to know, what was that like? How much of it, were you on the actual Eiffel Tower? What's the story there? He wants to know.
Okay. We were on the Eiffel Tower. They shut it down for us from like midnight to sunrise, which was fun. Yeah. That was really fun, climbing all over the Eiffel Tower with nobody else on it. And then the rest of it, but we didn't bungee jump off of it. The rest of that was green screen.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. We made it look real.
Was it fun being around werewolves though? That's the big question. You like the werewolves?
Yeah, no, I like werewolf movies. I love the original Werewolf in London. Yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun, and we were all over Europe in that one. So it was my first time in Europe. So I had a blast making that film with Julie Delpy.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
If we're going through highlights of your career, and people have been asking since the moment you came on screen, I know we've alluded to it, but we got to talk a little more about that thing you do.
Oh yes.
I mean, it's a perfect movie. It's a wonderful film, but it was a movie I went to very early on in lockdown. When you're looking for comfort things to watch.
Oh, nice.
Early, and I never knew about the longer Hanks cut, the extended cut.
Right.
I watched it for the first time, and it's one of the only cases I've seen of 2 very different cuts of a movie that are both equally good, but just different.
Right. I mean, he had such a big story to tell. I mean, especially for Charlize Theron's character, there was so much going on with her that got, I think it was nice that got to be in the director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
The director's cut is like, it feels a little more epic. It's slower. It's more contemplative. It has this broader canvas. and then the theatrical cut is so tight and fun and poppy that they both have their strengths. Neither one feels like an add-on to the other.
Right, right. That's so cool. I'm glad. I remember when they first cut it together. I remember seeing the director's cut, and I remember Tom Hanks saying, "Don't get excited. This is not going to all be in there." You know, and as an actor, I kind of felt like I was just going to defer to him anyway because he's Tom Hanks. But I was a little sad. I was like, "Oh wow, he worked like weeks on that one sequence, and it's not going to be in the movie. That's crazy." That was my first film, so I mean, everything at that point, well, I just had no idea what was going on. Yeah. I didn't know that 25 years later we'd have both versions.
Color Purple was your first film, Whoopi, right?
Yes.
So both of you just had these incredible debuts into movies where your lead characters working with huge directors in these big projects. I mean, what was that like transition process like for both of you in your careers to suddenly being the face of these movies?
Did you take early meetings with Steven Spielberg, Whoopi? How did you go about that?
I had been doing my show on Broadway, and I'd just gotten an agent. You know, people were starting to talk about the work I was doing, and I get a phone call saying, Steven Spielberg would like to meet you when you go back west. And I thought, well, yeah, I want to meet him too. You know, I want to be, you know, I want to be running from a giant boulder. I want to be part of that. And so they said, listen, can you go perform, do some of your show? And I said, yeah, sure. Cause he just opened, he had a small theater at Amblin. And so I went and met him, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking in my head, look at Steven Spielberg sitting right there. Right, I could touch him if I want to. And he said, because I started chuckling, he said, "It's what?" I said, no, I'm talking to myself inside my head. He said, oh, I do that all the time. And I thought, really? He said, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And that was, for me, that was a sign that whatever this ended up being, it would be all right because he got it. I don't know, that sounds silly, but
no. That's so cool, because I think in that moment they're trying to find the right person, and they're trying to figure out if it's going to work for the story that they're going to. Yeah. That's huge. That can make all the difference in casting.
Well, it really helped because I've been on the stages my whole life. I don't really know much about making movies, and so, but I love film, and so I was lucky because he's a big old cinemaphile as well, and so we just started talking about movies, and I realize now he was trying to see where I was at, and so I told him about all the stuff I love. I'm a horror movie girl. I love horror movies too.
Yeah.
And, he said, so if I said to you, hey, remember when that moment just before Norman Bates walks into the bathroom and he's in that scary thing. He said, if I said to you, that's the feel I need. I said, oh, I know what that is. I understand that. And that's how he directed me.
Wow.
Was through all these other movies, because I could relate to what he was saying to me. And, trying to get other people to understand who are not cinema lovers is very difficult. Sure. To get them to understand how to, that if you love movies and you have a relationship to them, then you have feeling. If you're an actor, I think you know what those things feel like when somebody says, you remember that moment just before Scout moves the door so we can see Boo Radley. So yeah, I got that. We as actors, we know what that is. We know how to make you feel that. Oh, yeah. And that's, to me, that's heaven when somebody gets it, and so I was very, very lucky. I was very lucky. I bet you feel the same way, Tom, that you're with somebody, particularly another actor, who knows the essence of what you need to go and is helping you vibe right in.
I mean, I couldn't believe my luck, my good fortune of my first big director was my favorite actor at the time. And he taught me things about acting in film that I have used my entire career. Just basic things like less is more. He would say, you think you're not interesting enough. You are very interesting. Just do less. It'll all come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did use an example like that. At one point, I turned to Jimmy and I say, why didn't you dump her in Pittsburgh? It's after Jimmy has dumped Faye. And Tom just wanted me to just do a bunch of different takes of saying that to Jimmy. And I remember the last one was, say it like Clint Eastwood would say it. To, you know, in like magnum force to some punk he was about to blow away. And I was like, really? And he's like, just for me. I was like, okay. And I don't think that's the one that they used, but it was just, you know, it's just fun.
It is. It is.
But it would be fun if they had the time, if there was a Clint Eastwood cut of that thing you do where every line, every line was you reading it like Clint. And you just call it that thing you do, punk.
This is from our friend Goof drew this. Here's Hoda.
Hoda at Hoda's bar.
Oh, that's great.
That is wonderful.
Whoopi, you directed a documentary a few years ago.
Yes.
How was that? Was that your first time directing something on that scale, or?
Yeah, but it's not the same like real directors do. Like I keep coming very close to saying I'm going to direct something, but I don't have the. You know, you have to have a love for directing. You have to have that passion. I don't have that. I keep trying to manufacture it, but I don't have it. But I made
it was the Mom's Mabley documentary.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was desperate for people to know who she was, because I thought maybe I would bring a show back to Broadway, another one-woman show of her.
Yeah.
And that if I put information out, if I could tell people about her, that would make it more interesting. But I made the documentary and never wrote the show. So these are the days of my life.
And now, I mean, Tom, I'm seeing Glock in 2009. Tell us about Glock.
That was just something I was trying to come up with a way to tell a story through spy short. Like everyone knows spy movies. You just have to show a couple different images and sequences, and everybody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that with any genre, but for me, it was the spy movie idea. And my friend Michael McMillan and I just wrote this 10-minute short and filmed it, and it was so much fun. We got a great cast together. It was my first time directing, my only time directing. It was great. We went to film festivals. It was super fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got Michael Giacchino, is a really good friend of mine from when we our daughters were in preschool together, and he did the music. And I remember the day in post when the post editor put Michael's music in, and I don't think they realized that this would crush my soul. But when they played the music, they went, now it's a movie. And I was like, yes, that's true. But are you saying that it was, not so good before?
Yeah,
that music came in. But his music is so incredible.
Yeah, he's the best.
It's got an amazing cast.
It was. I was really lucky. One of the hardest things to do is to ask friends and people you love to do something like that for nothing, for no money.
Yeah,
and it's just so nice that people are willing to do that kind of thing.
Well, ask me next time. I'll come and play.
Great.
Yeah.
On the record, we got it.
On the record.
Yeah.
After this pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anyone that you guys haven't worked with that is still on your bucket list?
Tom.
Well, but you guys are in Snow Buddies, Whoopi. Let's be real.
Well, but we did,
No, I know.
Not the same.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. That's funny because like when you some shows you do voiceover for, you do sit in the room all together, and I have to say I think that's much better.
Well, it gives you an opportunity to play. Cheech and I got to do that when we did Lion King, and that was great. That was fun.
Yeah, because then you can really go off of each other. Yeah, that's much more organic.
Yeah.
Tom, you played the voice of Booster Gold in a series of different DC projects. You played them across a couple of things, which I feel like is it's a fan favorite character who hasn't gotten to be represented that much. You end up being like the Booster Gold because it's not like Batman where 80,000 guys have played.
That's right. I was super psyched for that because I grew up loving comics and loving DC, and so I was like, wow, no one knows this guy. I bet no one really, outside of comic book people. So I was excited to do that for JLA, and one of the first people I ever met in Hollywood was Dietrich Bader. Yeah, and I love Dietrich, and he's in all these Snow Buddies and Buddies movies.
He does show up in these, yeah.
Does show up.
So when I got to do Brave and the Bold, and he was Batman, that was just a treat.
Yeah. We did get some more. I want to show some more fan art.
That's awesome.
We got that from Kevin, and then we also got this. We got Obi-Wan and Obi-2. It's from Lauren.
Oh, look at that! He's got the shades.
You got it all. What were your guys? Did you guys have pets growing up?
Yeah. Who are your buddies?
Who are your buddies? Yeah.
Yeah. My dog and cat were Honey and Happy growing up. My dad hated calling for them. He hated at the end of the day having to yell out the door, Honey, Happy. Like I could hear it in his voice every time.
That's really
humiliation. That's what happens when you let your kids name their pets.
Yeah. Whoopi, what about you?
I grew up in the projects. In that time, we were not permitted to have animals of any kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you have your first pet? Did you ever have a cat after that?
I got a cat when I moved to San Diego, and then this cat moved in. It's just like, oh, we have a cat. It would just sit, just kind of, how they sit like this and they just look at you. Mm-hmm. That's what she would do. She would just sit. And then one day she came home with some guy, and then he left, and then there were kittens. It was like, and my daughter was really small. She was like, kittens, are they ours? I was like, oh, no. We got to find people to give them to. And we did. And I've had cats, and she has 3 dogs now. She's always had bulldogs. And I've always had cats because cats don't, they kind of give you a kiss on the cheek when you leave. They don't care. Or they feign that they don't care. But if it gets to be past dinner time, then there's a problem. And
Here's another Obi-2 Kenobi.
Nice.
Look at that.
At the drumstick.
Very good.
Did you guys now, Tom? You're in LA, and Whoopi, you're on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever live Tom? Had you lived on the East Coast, and Whoopi, how much time did you spend on the West Coast?
She just said she lived in San Diego, Patrick. Are you listening?
But I wanted to know how much time she has spent out there versus the East Coast motto. That was what I was asking.
I was born in Massachusetts. I lived there until I moved to New York after college. I was in New York for about 10 years and then moved out here in 2001. And I've been in LA ever since.
I lived in San Diego. Yes, I did, Watto. And I lived in Berkeley, California. And I lived in LA for a very long time. And then about 15 years ago, I just came back. Just thought, I felt like I aged out.
Sure.
Now, see, I look natural.
Yeah, it looked good.
Because this is actually what is happening under all this hair. I have everything tied down, for a reason. But thanks to whoever did that, because now you know what I actually look like.
That was Jabba Leia did that one.
Jambalaya, thank you. It's gorgeous. I loved it.
Now,
So,
now,
guys, I hate to do this, but I have to go.
You're the best.
You're the best.
You've
Whoopi.
been so generous with your time, Whoopster.
This was lots and lots and lots of fun. And I'm glad that I got to know you. You'll send me the
Yeah. It is. I'll email it. I'll email it to you guys, but it is in the private chapter. I will get it to you.
Okay, cool. Because I feel like that's my thank you to you all. To be able to give to this. And Tom, I have to tell you, I'm a huge fan.
Likewise.
I've just been geeking out, having a good time, and it's quite thrilling to talk to you all. So,
Thank you.
thank
Whoopi.
you.
Well,
It was wonderful to see you.
come back anytime, Whoopi. Come back anytime.
Do y'all. Bye.
All right.
So good
We'll
to
see
see
ya.
you again, baby.
Well,
I'm gonna follow right behind Whoopi.
Yeah. Tom, thank you.
Well,
for coming.
Whoopi's savvy because I was about to get very political. I was about to ask her about the Little Rascals movie in which Donald Trump played Waldo's dad. So perhaps it's just as well.
Do you want to, before Tom leaves, ask him the question about the Little Rascals movie?
Yes, Tom, when the little, I'll make this so it actually makes sense as a question. And I know you weren't in, first of all, just to be clear, you had nothing to do with the Little Rascals movie that came out in 1994.
Right.
Were you aware of the film, Tom?
No.
All right.
Well, Whoopi plays Buckwheat's mom.
Yes.
Yes. It's a big comedic reveal at the end of the film. He goes, "Look, there's my mom." And they go, "Whoopee!" And the joke is that it sounds like an exclamation, but it is also the name of the actress playing the mom.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Whoopi plays a parent of a rascal, and Donald Trump, one day President Donald Trump, plays Waldo's dad in the film.
The villain, the rich kid.
I was going to ask Whoopi if, when she was working on the Little Rascals, did she ever imagine that anyone connected with the film would ever be in charge of the country? So I'll ask that to you, Tom. Having not seen the film, I think it still stands. Can you believe that anyone connected to the Little Rascals movie was ever in charge of the country?
All right. Well, I mean, I could just answer this question, or I could ask for a little more information.
All right. This is like a game show.
So you said that this movie came out in 1994.
Yes.
Yes.
Was this something that should be on my radar?
Tom, can I name some other names of people who are in this movie? George Wendt, Mel Brooks, Leah Thompson. Who else we got, George? I think you're looking at the Reba McEntire. Who else we got? Anybody else I'm missing for the big one?
Directed by Penelope Spheris.
Yeah.
Yes, Mel Brooks. That was in it. Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
Daryl Hannah.
Mary Kate Olsen, Leah Thompson, friend of the show. We should have asked her about it. We'll get Leah back on to ask her about it at some point. But it's a pretty stacked cast for a reboot of a black and white two-reeler, a series from the 1930s. You know, of all of the reboots, 1990s reboots of black and white children's-based comedy series from the 1930s, this was perhaps the biggest.
Yeah,
I mean, I can appreciate that's nice. I like that. That's got my beard. It's definitely got my nostrils.
I'll say this: it definitely confirmed my feeling that the next Star Wars movie I made should be focused on a young boy. I remember seeing Rascals and thinking, "Yes, this is what Star Wars should be next."
I mean,
Anakin should be a little rascal.
Yeah, I agree. The Women Haters Club, you know, you can bring that back. What was that? The He-Man Women Haters Club?
Women Haters Club? Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately topical.
Especially when you involve Donald Trump. I think you know that's what studios definitely want to make our movies that are associated with the nostalgia. You know, remaking things seems to have much better business model, but let's remake a movie that had potential but just didn't cut it at the box office. Let's do a couple of my movies. You know, let's Dead Man on Campus probably could have worked.
Boom.
Ooh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what you call it now. You get rid of all the words and just call it DMOC.
Right.
2022.
Yes.
Let's get fan art for this, because then if you make fan art, the industry thinks it's real. If you just announce something now, people will start thinking I gotta get it. So if we just say DMOC 2022 Uprising,
right.
Now it sounds like that sounds like some real IP.
That's true.
Tom, I know you're trying to make a graceful exit, but I have to ask because you brought up rebooting projects that you're a part of. You, of course, played Frank Heffley, the dad, in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul.
Yeah.
Now, in the previous 3 Wimpy Kid films, that role was essayed by Steve Zahn, your former bandmate in the Oneaters. Is there a conspiracy? Can we expect that Ethan Embry will take the role of the father in the now announced 3rd incarnation of the Wimpy Kid franchise on Disney Plus?
I think that Ethan would make a fantastic Frank Heffley. So he gets my vote. I remember texting Steve like, "Hey man, another thing we got in common," and he was like, "What?" I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be Frank Heffley," and he goes, "What?"
Oh no!
And he immediately called me and said, "The hell are you talking about, man?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you."
Yeah. Wow. Well,
Okay.
at least you're still friends.
What a humiliating thing to happen. you took it from him.
Our friendship has survived it.
Yeah. But now that thing you do is the thing that you did to him.
Yeah.
That is the thing in question now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I appreciate
breaking his heart into a million pieces.
Tom, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you so much.
Guys, this was so much fun.
Good.
Thank you
I'm so
so
glad you had a
much.
good time.
I hope we raise a lot of money for the ASPCA.
Thank you.
I hope so too.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
The best.
Hey, remember when Tom Everett Scott and Whoopi Goldberg were on the show?
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking wild, huh?
Yeah.
It was great. I do want to say, now that we're alone, I do want to say that this day has been a true nightmare in my ears. I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine a constant stream of fragments of digital noise.
Yes.
Just unbearable. Just like the kind of thing that you would do. It's the audio equivalent of a stress position.
Yeah.
You're listening to Metal Machine music, and we're all listening to Transform.
That's right. That's right.
Relate this to the Lou Reed discography.
Trying my best not to ruin the show. Trying my best to get questions out. It's very hard to time comedy when everyone on screen is constantly rebuffering. I'm constantly seeing all of your screens going away, coming back, and catching up at full speed.
I'll say this, George. Once you changed computers, it looked and sounds mild.
Yeah, you're in sync. It's much better, and your timing was great with Tom and Whoopi.
Yeah,
but I'm having to. I'll tell you, it's not easy because I'm having to time on a shift. I'm having to time shift to try to make things work.
Sure.
I mean, you're a master storyteller. You're pulling it off. Is it any better now?
Right now, it's fine.
Okay. Because you sing great right now. What?
I'm gonna refresh because I think you've got a few things that you need to do.
Okay. Did Whoopi come in with a donation?
No, I have to send it to them.
Okay. Can we remember also that Whoopi made it canon? Because I know we're delineating which things are canon, which things are legends.
Yeah.
Whoopi did make it canon that Watto and Whoopi used to sleep together. That was canon. That was established by Whoopi. That was not Watto crossing boundaries, but it is added to the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Old flames.
Old flames. George, you were going to ask Whoopi that question about Donald Trump.
Yes.
I will share something.
By the way, we should acknowledge he's no longer president.
He's no longer president.
It's great.
This is the first time we've done. This is the first time we've done the show since the beginning of January 2016, in which we could say that.
Correct. And I will share a quick anecdote that I do not think betrays any confidence, but this is a true story. Whoopi and I, Watto, share a mutual friend, the great producer Barry Josephson, who was Whoopi's manager at the beginning of her career. And Watto and Barry went over to Whoopi's home to eat pizza spring of 2016. When everyone was in the mental state of there's no way Trump is actually going to get the nomination, right? Like, this is scary. It's scary that he's in the race still, but there's no way he actually gets the nomination. This has to end at some point. And Whoopi Goldberg, EGOT winner, was the first person, I should say the first reasonable person, that Watto heard say he is going to get the nomination and he is going to win. Whoopi very soberly said, he's going to get the nomination, he's going to win, and I'll tell you why. I met the man a number of times over the decades. I've interviewed him. I've spoken to him at parties. He will do anything. He is a cheater. He is fundamentally a cheater. There is no line he won't cross. He will do whatever it takes for him to win. And at the time, it felt alarmist, and Whoopi was, as she often is, 100% correct. And those words have echoed in Watto's ears for 5 years.
But
I misspoke. I meant to say January 2017 was the last time we did a show where he wasn't president.
Yeah, Watto, we're looking to the future, and guess what?
Of course.
We have another guest here. Now, I know he's on his phone, so I'm not sure if he can use the private chat. So I'm just going to bring him in. Is that okay?
Yes, but should we update the spreadsheet first, or we'll do it when the guest comes on?
We'll do it in a minute. Okay. You know him. I want to get the last name correct. You know him as Patrick Fram from the Air Buddies franchise. Please welcome Richard Karn to the show.
Richard Karn!
How you guys doing?
Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm sorry that I'm not on the private chat. I apologize for that.
Well, we could do this. Richard, how would you want to be introduced by Watto if you were on the private chat?
How would I want to be introduced?
Yeah.
I think I would
want
to
I
think I would want to leave that up to Watto.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull you off really quick, and I'll let him introduce you.
Folks, Girl Grews and Gra-Gras, it's been a great marathon so far, but if you ask me, this show needs more power. Survey says next guest is Richard Karn.
That's pretty good.
I could not even have imagined writing it better than that.
I worked two in there. I got two references.
I know you did. I saw that.
I'm a big fan, Ricky. I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you, Waddy.
Now, Richard, we're on the second movie of the Buddies franchise right now. We're watching Snow Buddies. Okay. What do you remember about how did you get cast in these movies? How did it all?
A very good friend of mine played the role originally, and I didn't realize that when Patrick called me to come in and audition or whatever. That Gregory Harrison played the dad in the very first one, and then they brought me in for the second one, and then maybe the third was Snow Buddies. The third one,
Snow Buddies is 2.
Is the second one.
But there's the Air Bud films proper.
Yeah, I was in Seventh Inning Fetch. That was the baseball buddies.
Yeah.
And then the Snow Buddies. And then I think at some point they sold the franchise to Disney.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Hey, it happens.
And Cynthia was my wife on both of those, yeah.
It happened to me. Eventually, Disney will buy if you have a franchise, Disney will buy it from you. I know from experience.
Well, you want to hear a funny story is when Home Improvement started. Home Improvement was Wind Dancer Productions, partnered with Buena Vista Television.
That's Disney.
Which was the Disney arm of television, and then the two producers sold it to ABC. Well, about a year into Home Improvement, Disney bought ABC.
Yeah, it's what they do. They got the money and they will buy it.
And then they wanted to sell the show to themselves for less, and Wind Dancer goes, hell no, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney essentially purchased Tim Allen in a hostile takeover, right? They would not let Tim Allen do anything outside of Disney.
I don't know. We're about to do a show on the History Channel, so
well, you know what?
Buy the History Channel.
I was going to say History Channel should look out.
Yeah, I'm going to make this prediction by 2023.
Exactly.
It'll be called Disney History, and that'll be what it'll be.
Right, because you think even like Last Man Standing, right, is on ABC, owned by Disney.
No, it's on Fox.
Well,
it was on ABC, then it moved to Fox.
Exactly. It was on ABC. Disney owned it. They canceled it. Fox said, let's pick it up. And Disney went, no, we're buying Fox. We're not going to let anyone else have Tim Allen.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into a deep-spirited conspiracy theory here.
Yeah. But look at how Pixar was a little bit. It was sort of a separate company from Disney, and they got Buzz Lightyear right there. But then no, Disney must have him. Disney. There is no world in which Disney does not buy the History Channel within the next.
Or maybe
2
that's
years.
just smart business.
Or
because
maybe
all of these things very successful.
Yes.
So have you guys have shot the show already, right?
We shot 10 episodes in 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Was
it was pretty intense.
Pre-pandemic? Was this pre-pandemic, or have you shot it recently?
This was during pandemic.
Wow.
That's why the format of the show changed. Before, it was going to become the contestants or the builders would come into our space. Mm-hmm. We would give them a material. They would use the materials and the tools that we had, and they would build whatever it was we wanted them to build. But then, because of COVID, we decided we're going to let them stay in their own workshops. They can use their own stuff, and it became kind of a cool thing, kind of a very different envisioned piece, but worked really nicely. And unless they didn't have really good Wi-Fi, and that was always a little bit of a problem. But we worked on that. We got it spruced up.
That's great.
Well, let me know what they did.
Yeah, George has been having a lot of Wi-Fi issues today. It's been, yeah. We need that. We need that History Channel money. That's what we need.
George, where are you located?
Marin County, Skywalker Ranch.
And you don't have internet?
I have it.
Richard, this is the question we've been asking for 9 months. We have to live stream with this guy every week. He invented nonlinear editing systems. He invented the surround sound, and he cannot get his tech to work.
That sounds like a premise for a great comedy.
Well, do what Disney does. Just buy tech.
Yeah.
George, buy tech.
I'll find out. I'll do what Disney does. I'll find out what Wi-Fi Tim Allen is using, and I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Now, Richard, the thing we've brought this up earlier. The thing they always say about entertainment is never work with animals or kids.
Yes.
Did you find that true on these movies? Were the animals easy to work with? Do you remember?
Immediately, I started working with a kid.
Yeah.
Tim Allen.
So you said, I don't want to hear your rules. I'm out. I'm doing whatever I want.
Patrick, you have to pay respect to the joke that Richard just made.
It's all right. He was working. He was thinking about the next slide. You're right. But I really enjoyed working with the dogs. The dogs were adorable, and they interchanged them so that if one wasn't working, they could use a different. And I even did another show with Robert with a monkey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had another franchise called Most Valuable Primate.
Oh, yes.
MVP.
I think, were you in several of those? Because I know there was also Most Vertical Primate.
The vertical. I was in the one where he was a skateboarder.
Sure. MVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ollie Plant.
Yeah, I played Ollie.
Exactly.
Plant. I was a term. My name was an actual skateboard term.
Yeah. So how were they in this? You found it fairly easy?
I found it, just about as much fun. However, we did have this kind of a difficult scene where the kids come over at night and I make them hot chocolate, and the monkey is supposed to take all of the marshmallows and put them in his mouth.
Sure.
And then we cut to the monkey, and he's got all the marshmallows, and he smiles, and that was going to be a big joke. he wouldn't take the marshmallows. And we're on like the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th take. Finally, I look at the monkey and I reach over and I take a marshmallow, and the monkey's going. And I keep eye contact. I take the marshmallow, I put it in my mouth, and the monkey's like, and then he looks at the marshmallows and he picks one up, and then he tries to feed me.
Yeah, you were the monkey.
I was the alpha monkey in the room, and the trainer comes over to me and goes, you could have died. They're very possessive of their food, and if when you took their food, they could have attacked you. And I go, well, now you tell me.
Yeah.
Wow. I think not to make light of the possibility of what could have been really tragic, but I do think if you had a tombstone that said died trying to feed a marshmallow to a monkey, I think that would have cheered a lot of people in the cemetery up. If you were walking through, I think people need to think about this because cemeteries are so depressing. If you died trying to feed a marshmallow to a monkey, you owe the world that on your tombstone.
True.
That's a good
Okay,
point.
here's some fun trivia. What's a funny tombstone? I mean, do you know of some very funny tombstones?
I can tell you my favorite one of all time, right off the noggin.
Tell me your favorite.
Leslie Nielsen, for my money, the funniest person to ever be in movies. His tombstone just says "Let her rip."
All right.
Yeah.
He died with a fart joke.
On Boot Hill, there's a one that says, "Here lies Lester Moore, 4 shots from a 44, no less, no more."
Wow.
And that's a real tombstone.
That's beautiful. That's not only is that funny, it's also poetry.
It's poetry. It's cowboy poetry.
Yes.
It rhymes much
We're
like
getting back to the whole ranch theme, I guess.
Yeah. Now, Richard, a lot of people in the comments are loving your background and they want to see it a little bit bigger. So can we talk about your background?
Sure you can.
It's a lovely home you have here.
Let's talk about.
At least I have a lovely corner.
Yes. What kind of fish do we have? What kind of fish are we talking?
We're saltwater fish.
Okay.
We've got. They're kind of hiding right now. It's not feeding time, so they go down amongst the coral.
Yeah.
And above me is an actual gift from Tim one Christmas of the Tool Time set.
Oh wow. That's very.
Let's go explore it closer.
Oh, and I think I see a little owl next to him too over there.
See that?
Yeah.
Wow.
There he is.
Look at that. Now, Darren, is that from the stop motion episode?
No. That was a fan sent that to me. Actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I spy some. You got your Baldaccis. You got your Ken Folletts. Are you alphabetical there? Are you going alphabetical?
I thought about going alphabetical, but I went more like thriller mysteries.
Sure.
Gotcha. So by genre.
Yeah.
What do you got on the top shelf there? What's on the top shelf?
That would be Macallan 35.
Oh.
Gotcha. All right.
Now, when people come on this show, normally they're like, "Oh, we're going to talk about the Buddies movies. We're going to talk about all these movies." We want to talk about what's in the background. That's what we're really here for.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's go to another place. Let's see. How about down here?
What is down the bottom shelf?
I see Harry Potter 5. I see. Okay. What are these green books we're looking at?
Yeah. What are the green books? Are these Peter Farrelly's or what are they?
Those are the scripts.
Oh.
The scripts.
I have all the Home Improvement scripts.
Oh wow.
Did you have these published, or were they published for you? How did you do
this? It's the actual script, and my wife had them bound for me for Christmas one year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I know. It was like a complete surprise.
Yeah,
I really love the idea of imagine. I don't love the first part of the idea is very sad, but imagine society crumbles. We lose the grid is destroyed, electricity is gone, hundreds of years go by, future civilizations, humanity is struggling to continue. In the rubble of what was once once a mighty home, someone finds these books and they begin to read the story of Home Improvement from the beginning.
And thank
these
God we
stories-
have Wilson who gives the moral of the story.
Yes.
They will be able to find the moral of our civilization.
Yes. And these were the stories they told each other. And they'll have no idea that they were acted out in film. They will just think, these are the tales that were told long ago.
Yes.
Of how man discovered tools and began to use them and then struggled to figure out his place in the family home.
Bob Vila is mythologized in the way that we look back on cavemen and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they read the episode where we hit him with a 2x6.
Yes.
These people were not without their problems.
This is a loaded question for you. Rick.
Okay.
But the late great Earl Hindman, who played Wilson, the aforementioned Wilson, the next door neighbor. So much of the show was built around Wilson being this sage voice of wisdom whose face you never saw. But of course, you're doing the show. You're in rehearsals with the man. You know what he looks like. And this is a time before the internet ran rampant, where people just genuinely didn't even know how to see a picture of this man's face. Right? You couldn't.
Well, they could have looked up his shows. He was on Ryan's Hope for 10 years as Delia's brother. He was in Silverado. He was in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
But it was harder to look these things up at the time. That's the thing, is even though the man had a huge career prior to Home Improvement, it was like, where do I even find a photo? Am I going to the library? You know.
And he loved that. Earl loved the anonymity. He did. If we would go out, people would come up to one of us, and if he said anything, people would like turn to him and go, "Oh my God, you're Wilson!"
Yeah,
because they hear the voice.
That's great.
Did it ever feel like you were sitting on like a government secret? That you knew what Wilson looked like? That you were able to see? You could stand on the other side of the set and go, "That's what your mouth is doing."
I never went there.
What?
I never did.
I mean, you work on so many different types of things, from single camera, multi-camera, game show. Which one do you find things that you like in each of them, or is one of them the easiest of the three, the hardest of the three?
Well, yeah. I mean, I love the art of producing, the spoken word. I love that. All of my previous background had been theater. When I was living in New York, I lived in Manhattan for 11 years. I did theater around the country in New York. It wasn't until I made it out to Los Angeles with my wife and I got Home Improvement that I started doing television. And really, if you look at Tool Time, it's really just a little play. Yeah. And Tool Time itself, separate from Home Improvement, is in front of a live audience. Yeah. The audience sometimes is in the show. So it was almost like continuing to do theater, except if I messed up, we could go back and do it again.
Sure.
And we could rewrite it. I didn't rewrite plays I was in. I didn't go, well, William Shakespeare, I think he meant to say this, or this joke will work better if I say it like this. Yeah, with Home Improvement, we rehearsed 5 days, and each day we tried to make everything a little tighter, a little funnier, a little more crisp, or whatever it was it needed.
People are also in the comments, rightfully so, telling me that they love you on Pen 15, which is a great.
I was going to say, Richard, you've been on 2 of my favorite comedy series of the last 10 years.
Don't you love Pen 15? Pen 15 is so endearing. And these women, these 2 women met each other at NYU theater school, and years later they get together and they pitch this idea to Hulu. They spend a tidy sum of money to put a 7-minute sizzle reel together, and they sold it. Their idea of them playing 13 at 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're really good. They're really funny.
That's an interesting role for you, because, as you said, the show is created by and run by the 2 lead actors who are also the writers, right?
Well, they're the writers, but there are other writers also.
Yeah, sure.
They have a team.
It's their idea. It's their genesis. Idea. It's pulled from their lives.
Yeah.
You're playing a character based on Maya's real life father.
Yes, who I met.
By Maya, Right, and you're also in the scenes with Maya. Did she ever sort of direct you and say like, my dad's more like this?
She never really did that. And you know, did you look up Peter Erskine, her real dad?
Yeah, he's an amazing jazz drummer.
World class jazz drummer.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And you know what the girls like to do was they would run the scene, then they'd run it again and let the camera go, and maybe they'd like improvise endings or different ways to go. Well, there was this one episode where we're at the dinner table and her brother says something and she goes, bullshit. You know, and you know, as the dad, I'm going, what did you say? And she looks at me, and you know, in the script, it's like nothing. I didn't say nothing. You know, what did you say? Bullshit. You know, and the brother's going, no, and I go to your room. And in the script, she gets up unwillingly and goes to her room. Well, she doesn't. We run it. She doesn't get up. She doesn't go. I go to your room, and she just looks at me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like real life. And I go to your room now. And she just goes, no. And so what any father would do, you start to count.
Yeah.
I went 1, and her eyes got huge. Like, and I got 2, big pause, 3. And I get up, I'm about to get up, and she scampers out, and she comes back laughing hysterically. Oh my God, that's what my dad used to do. My dad would do that. And it was, you know, it was completely off book, just doing what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, when your authority is questioned.
You also were in one episode of Detroiters, which is right up there with 10-15 for me, best of the decade.
Yes, but I played myself.
Yes, but you were great on that, and that show is unbelievable.
How is that to play yourself? What goes into something like that?
Well, you know what? 4 years of doing Family Feud is prep.
Yeah.
Because Family Feud is there's no script, so you're either funny or you're not. You play the game. You are yourself. You're a heightened sense of yourself, you know, as the master of the party.
Sure.
You know, making things. So when they asked me to do this, you know, be the host of the D Awards, the Detroit Awards for local advertisers, they had a song for me to sing. They sent us the music and the lyrics, and I'm okay, all right. So when I show up, they go, "Do you know the song?" And I go, "Yeah, I think so." And he says, "Well, sing it." And I sang the song. He goes, "Great, all right, okay." And we want you to do a magic trick. And I go, "What kind of magic?" Well, we've got a magician coming in. There's a book where a bird will fly out of it. Yeah, you know, it's really you'll learn it. You've got some time, you know. So and then we need a dance. Just do a little dance with the song. We get to the stage, or where we're doing this. There's 150 extras in the audience for this award show, and they're going, okay, we're gonna film it from there. We're gonna film them first. They're gonna be watching you, and we're gonna film them watching you.
Yeah.
So just do the song. I said, choreography? No, just do the song, sing it. Yeah, like that. Well, of course, I'm still doing. It's like theater. I've got 150 extras all watching me do something, you know, and you don't want to like disappoint them. So I sang the song. There was, I had to turn like that, do the magic act. No rehearsal, no choreography. I just do what you think. And then when they turned it around to me, they go, "What you were doing was great. Let's film that." So, you know, if I'd had that job 10 years before, I think I would have froze. But having had a little more, time in my own skin, I just kind of, okay, well, if this is the way you guys want to do it. But one of the great things is that I met Jason out of that. And we've been watching Ted Lasso, which is, if you can find that, it's really a great show.
I mean, this is the tier I'm talking about. You asked me best comedies television last 10 years. It's Ted Lasso, 10-15, Detroiters. You're
especially this
touching
year
all of
because
these
it's a happy, it's an uplifting piece of work, and we really need that when we're stuck at home.
Now, I do want to say, someone sent this to me, and I double-checked to make sure it's true. What companies does Disney own the History Channel?
50% equity holding. They bought you, Richard.
They have you now. They have you now.
Oh, really? They do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Richard, I there may be documentation to disprove this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It happened in the last 20 minutes.
It happened. It only happened because of this thing.
Well, you know,
The
it
mouse
was
is
great for
listening.
so
The mouse
long.
is watching. The mouse found out there was a piece of Tim Allen that they did not own, and they pressed a button, and they made it happen.
It's yours.
You know, I love that.
were-
That's so funny.
That's really funny. Were there have you ever gotten to the end of a Family Feud and you're like, that wasn't a great episode? Does that happen?
You know, we did it in real time.
Yeah.
So anything that was horrible or very, very funny, I couldn't remember because
Sure.
you can't dwell on it. You can't go back and go, oh, that was great. But I think there had to have been times when in my head I had missed opportunities. Oh, I could have said that or this and that, but we did it really, you know, pretty much close to time.
How many would you shoot in a day?
6.
Wow.
3 in the morning, cut for lunch, 3 in the afternoon.
That is almost as intense as watching all 7 Buddies films live.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little, you know, too much sugar.
Too much. Yeah, that's how I would describe today.
Now,
But I
can
love
I
these
ask-
movies. These movies, you know, are able to tell kids, you know, the right way to do things. Be courageous, be funny, be you know, if you're a little naughty, you just make sure that it has a good outcome. You know, these are wonderful pieces of work for kids to watch.
And something we keep saying is, you know, a lot of people might look at these and say, oh, they're silly kids films, they're whatever. But when you look at the quality of actors that are in these movies, it automatically elevates it to something else because you're like, you know, there's so many good character actors. And even like, you know, it's like we said earlier, it's Don Knotts' last movie. It's, I think, Tim Conway's last movie. There's a lot of these like really great comedians who you get
Vince is the director. I mean, he made that happen. And you know, he was really just a surfer dude.
Yeah.
You know, he loved to surf and hang out. But when he would start working, it was really, you know, a wonderful atmosphere to be in.
Sure. That's
and
good.
Cynthia Stevenson, the woman who played my wife, was you know, just a dream to work with.
Yeah.
Let's also call out, we're using today to raise money for the ASPCA, and we haven't checked the spreadsheet in a while. Of course, Richard, one of the fundraising goals we've set up is that for every $1,000 we raise, Watto has to eat a hot dog and drink a Budweiser. It's a dog and a Bud. And I've eaten 3 so far, but I think there's maybe a balance of at least 2 more I need to take. Okay, so there's 1 more right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
And we get to 5,000 before I go to the kitchen. I would love to be able to prep 2 hot dogs at once.
That'd be great.
That is really well. You know, we adopted a rescue dog about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and it has been a godsend. It is so much, you know, there's just so much joy in a puppy. I can't tell you.
I'm gonna take George off. I think George's background's all over. We're gonna let him take care of that.
But he's got to do pillow time too.
Yeah, Richard.
George is going to check out the back 40.
Yeah, I think he's got to go grab something. I'm not sure.
I think you mentioned hot dog and beer, and I think he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like he fixed it. Did you have any animals growing up, Richard?
Yeah, we had a Bedlington Terrier, and the reason we had a Bedlington Terrier was because our next door neighbor was an animal doctor,
veterinarian. Yeah,
a veterinarian. Yeah, the word escaped me. And he had the mother of our dog name, and we named her Fuzzy. Mm-hmm. She looked like a little sheep.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie it wrapped up. Do you have any? I'm going to wait for George to come back to really wrap it up, but do you have any final parting words that you want to give on the Air Buddies franchise? Your time on it. What is your takeaway on this?
I just enjoy the mayhem, enjoy the way it's put together and the stories. They're not, it's not rocket science, and the characters are kind of cartoonish, but like you said, we have really good actors, making these things come to life.
Yeah.
Now, Richard, here's a huge question. On the two of these that we've watched so far, Air Buddies and Snow Buddies, you get the with credit. There's all the live action actors billed first, and then there's the voiceover actors, and you on both of them get with Richard Karn, and then it's and Cynthia Stevenson. I'm not talking about this project. I'm talking in general. Do you prefer a with or an and? They are both prestigious in their own ways. Do you prefer to get a with or an and in the credits?
That's a good question. It's always great. It's always nicer to be last.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the lasting memory. But for the most part, I just enjoy doing the work. If maybe I were Orson Welles, I'd want more credit. But hey, even he didn't write Citizen Kane.
Burn. Mank burn.
Now, Richard, a lot of people are asking in the chat, is it possible we could see your dog?
Lola?
Yeah.
Lola.
It's okay if it's a no, but I just want to say
I have to go away.
Okay, that's
talk
okay.
amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
We will.
All right. I've added a second Baby Yoda blanket and a second pillow.
Oh my gosh.
So it's, what is this? The Blankie Show and pillow 2, another pillow?
Yeah.
George, I just feel the need to point out that I have had these pillows for weeks now.
Yeah. Well,
they have been shown on air. I've had them in my set. One could argue I had the original Baby Yoda pillow.
Yeah, but as Richard Karn just mentioned, you want to be last. That's the lasting memory. The lasting memory of these pillows will be that they are my original pillows with George's pillows and George's blankies.
Oh my God, Lola!
Oh, wow. There we go. Oh,
yeah, you're a good girl. Yes, you are.
What kind of dog is Lola?
She's a mix. There's a little terrier because her legs are a little longer, and then a little I don't know. She looks like an Ewok.
Oh, that's the best. She does.
Yeah, little buddy. Look at that little buddy.
Oh, Richard, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're the best. Stay safe.
Talking to you. Don't let Disney buy that dog.
Yeah.
Too late. I think now because of this, there's a franchise.
Oh no.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You got those. All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Richard.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
I got to say, we talked about the fact that this marathon was Watto's choice and that it was a chaotic choice.
Yes.
And we weren't sure how it was going to work out. This feels like, for all the difficulties we've had, the tech problems and everything, it's feeling like a good marathon.
It's fun. And I think people should donate. If you're having fun, if you're having a good time. Guys, we got you Whoopi and Richard Karn and Tom Everett. So many good people.
Flitter,
Fox, everybody. And there's so many more. So I say, let's do a little $4 thing. A little $4. Yeah. If you're having fun, give $4.
Now,
okay?
Patrick, I have to ask the big question.
Are we switching streams? Yes.
That's my next question. Someone's got an echo. I think it's
probably me. It's probably me. Jesus.
I don't hear an echo, so I'm not sure who it is. Maybe that's me then. Yeah.
Patrick. I forgot the question now.
Okay. Let's switch over.
I'm going to remember. Wait a second. Patrick.
What?
Bring up this spreadsheet one more time because I want to make the hot dog during the break. Okay, so I'm going to make the 4th hot dog. If you want to see a 5th one, you have to do the work.
Yeah, we have not gotten to the 5th one. People need to do the work.
This is my question I just remembered now.
It's slightly higher than that, but it's not there yet.
Patrick,
What, Watto?
did you send the donation link to Whoopi?
I did.
Okay, because Whoopi might come through for us in a big way.
We'll see. I don't know.
Don't
$4
block
friends.
her from making a donation.
Guys, while we're gone for a few minutes, $4 friends. That's all we want. We just want you to donate.
I don't want to overhype it, but Whoopi has the potential to be a $5 friend.
Yeah. You want to donate more than Whoopi.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in 1 minute. We're going to stop and switch over.